because I don't need better soap opera music. But thank you for watching Natural One. We'll
Is
see
that
you guys
black
next time.
licorice?
What the fuck?
Or is that that's black licorice.
No,
That's
it's pasta.
That's squid ink pasta.
It's squid ink pasta.
Mm.
All right, that's great.
Can
Welcome
we
to
just say how
Natural One.
disgusting- Oh, never mind.
This episode is sponsored by me.
I said that joke before the stream, so that you could get
Yeah,
it
yeah. I
right,
want to see. I
and
want to see
you
the
still fucked
reaction.
it up.
I want to see the reaction. I had to
Hang on,
gauge
I'm
the
not deafing
audience.
myself
You know what I
to
mean?
see if you guys sound right.
Yeah, see if everything sounds okay. Joe, Jake, Vesper, speak.
Oh man, now the frog actually wants us to speak. Can you believe that nonsense?
This stream is sponsored by Dasani Water.
Joke's dead now.
This stream is
Jake's a little
sponsored by...
quiet.
Let's see if I can fix
But everyone
it.
else sounds fine. Am I too loud?
Alright,
Being a
how's this go?
Senior, shut the fuck up.
No,
I'm
you're fine.
gonna fuck your lizard wife.
Alright, so I'm good now.
Joe's also a little quiet.
Hold on, don't turn yourselves up. I can turn you up. Because you sound
Okay.
normal in the
What?
fucking Discord. I have
How would I
everyone.
turn myself?
I don't know, Joe. Jake did it.
Alright, let me deafen myself again and see if you guys...
Well, Intanius V said it's fine, and he's our #1 fan, so we have to trust him.
Okay, well, I don't know if I want to trust Intanius B because I'm going to go ahead and read what he posted in the old Discord here.
No.
I'll just read it out loud for everybody to
No, don't
hear
do
so
that.
we can get banned real quick. But...
Big sounds better now.
Alright, cool. Fantastic.
And Joe doesn't matter.
Bro, so I forgot the password to my 4chan account today.
Oh, you too?
Anyway,
Saying Fortune's gonna get us banned.
where we last left off, Alaric came face to face with a baby and then some more babies.
One of the babies I killed.
One of the
other
babies
two
was
I...
also a floating
They're
atropol
kind of up in the air
thing.
at the moment.
The other two are now at the
Therefore,
doorstep.
who's that?
I don't know what.
Everyone
see
else has killed
anything.
an orphan but me.
Jake.
I mean, killing orphans is wrong.
Killing orphans is what I do.
Anyway, where we last left off, the party had ventured to Odivalo to take care of the Black Lynx bandits, where they encountered a giant floating baby. They killed said baby after almost all of them dying, but they succeeded, took the weird brain thing that came out of it, left, and arrived back at the Iadus Vineyard, where Alaric met some unforeseen company. Oh, also, Gree met a treant that he planted and birthed in a day.
I didn't meet. I made.
Befriended, and now they have a treant working for them.
I had a treant baby.
Well, the Treant isn't with us, just with the rest of the company, but yeah,
Sadly.
we got a Treant.
We got a treant now.
Excuse me. I have a treant.
You're not going to tell them to listen to anybody else.
It's my treant.
But where we last left off, Alaric had the door open, staring out at a old familiar face, his former master Albrecht, and two younger children that look suspiciously like Alaric.
I cast power word kill.
I used my beholder eye. But Alaric, last thing you said was, "Oh shit."
Oh shit.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess at that point I'll just like. So for starting up immediately with it, did they say anything after I say, "Oh shit"?
The kids.
Oh Lois, check it out.
The kids turn into Meg and Chris. No, they're kind of just looking at you from under the hood. They still haven't removed theirs completely. But Albert has removed his and just has a bit of a smile on his face.
What can I tell from Albert just by looking at him right now?
He looks pretty much the same last you saw him, which was over nearly 20 years ago, except now he has a very large purple scar over his left eye and veins that kind of run off around it into the flesh and down the neck. And the iris, or the iris in his eye on that side is now a bit of a purple color. Before they were like very dark brown.
Alright, so yeah,
You can tell
guess-
something has happened to him,
yeah.
but he obviously hasn't been through too much, maybe?
Does it look similar to my mark?
No.
The mark of Mercury that I've got, no?
No. It looks if you've seen someone who has like a jaundice, it's kind of like that, but it trails down into the veins instead of being their entire skin.
All right, so I'll just ask. Well, Albrecht, this is an interesting turn of events. Is there any reason why you look the way that you do? You look extremely different from the last time I saw you, and yet somehow the same.
I can tell you more about that later, but these two are yours, Alaric. I've been looking for you for a while. Came up here last time, met Lorelai. Wasn't who I was looking for, so I went on to Dragal. Turns out you had been there and left in about 10 minutes. So you got some sort of means to travel and head back here.
We are very fast.
I can
But
tell.
here's my question, because this is not something that you would do. This is out of the ordinary for you. Why would you just walk around with two? I look over at them and I hold my tongue a little bit. Two of mine, and try and give them to me. What's your game? What are you after?
Not after too much. I've changed a bit. I've experienced a lot of things in my time, especially more recently than before. The world's changing, and I decided to change along with it.
Well, the world is changing, that's for sure, but you've always been a bit of a stone in that regard. You don't change, but fine.
When something's
I'll let you both.
threatening you, you kind of got to.
And what's threatening you?
Kind of just points at the eye.
Alright, what about it?
Like I said, I'll tell you, not around other company, especially the little ones. But this one, and he points at the small boy. He says Aesop. His mother named him, if you can't tell. And the girl is Isabel. And they both remove their hoods. Isabel has your facial features, kind of. She looks more similar to Lorelai, but with a bit tanner skin. And kind of dark reddish brown hair that kind of curls in the back and falls down. And Aesop looks a lot like you when you were younger, except his hair is kind of more dark and curly, and his skin
How do you
is a bit
spell
tanner.
Aesop?
ISSOP.
I thought you were making a One Piece
And they both have, well, that is Usopp's father, but they both have slightly pointed ears.
Alright, well, I'm not gonna turn away good company.
I could smell food.
All of you, come on in.
Hope I
Come on
wasn't
in.
interrupting dinner.
That's fine. I'll show you to the dining hall and we'll get things settled. But once they're in the hall, me and you have to have a conversation.
That's fine. He steps in, the
So.
two kids kind of step in with him. He kind of like wipes his boots on the mat and then starts walking forward, and the kids kind of go a bit in front of him. Still
It is
haven't.
completely devolved in the dining room. We were just having a wrestling match over the turkey.
It's a
beating the
duck.
shit
It's
out
a
of it.
duck.
Actually, no. Here, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
Eating.
Alaric
I'll
left.
say just like, I mean, I
Having
presume I'd
conversation,
be
you know.
talking
Talking
with Alaric's
to-
sister.
Okay.
Like, to Lorelai, like, wow, it's almost like we're just normal.
What are you
we
asking?
just
What's
I
up?
don't know if you're
on
normal.
right now. Okay, well,
We'd just be
no,
having
no.
normal dinner conversation. It's really nothing to RP, to be honest.
Except
the
Gree's
how's the
disintegrating. Gree's disintegrating all the chicken.
What are you guys asking her specifically?
I said, how's the winery going?
It's just normal dinner conversation, I would assume.
Yeah.
But,
I
I
assume
wanna
Mark
ask
is
a
doing it
question.
kind of poorly though.
No, Joe, go ahead.
I agree.
Well, why do I get ignored when I try to RP? But
okay,
then,
what did you say,
It's a
Mark? I
free
couldn't
pass.
hear you. You were mumbling over that food you were ingesting, but you weren't breathing that well. Mark? What'd you say?
oh, I couldn't hear you over me asking a question.
Okay, what was your question?
Oh, I just asked how the winery's doing.
How's the winery doing, lady?
That
Whose name I
wasn't
don't remember.
your question. That was my
Lorelai.
Lorelai.
She's looking at both of you.
God,
Excuse them, they're a bit
so
strange.
insensitive.
Remember when
Can
he
you believe-
threatened a king?
Can you believe how insensitive he is?
Threatened
It
a
is
king to his
even-
face?
You weren't there.
She has not touched her food. She's just staring at you guys. I assume like Gree's like pointing at Mark and Roger with like a duck leg.
Oh, yes.
I asked the most reasonable question, and I
She would tell you that the wineries are doing well, kind of stuttering a bit as she still looks on at all of you, especially Gree, who is on his 5th plate.
I'm just floating like crisscross applesauce on the ground.
Roger, can you sit in a chair, you fat fuck?
I don't
assume
think
it's
the
like,
chairs could hold me.
I assume it's like one of those feast tables where it's like everything's set out and you put stuff onto your plate.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I'm not putting anything on my plate. I'm just
Okay.
drinking water.
Okay, you just have an empty plate.
Every once in a while, I'll
No.
float over and grab
I
a
have a-
spoonful of stuffing and put
I
it
have,
on my
an,
plate.
I have an empty glass as well, and I'm just bringing it up to my lips and fake drinking.
It's so you don't get chapped. So
Lorelai.
Alaric comes in.
She has not noticed that. But Gree, if you had a question.
I was wondering, do you know of any like poisonous creatures around this area?
We have scorpions. Lots of scorpions.
That's quite a suspicious question, agree.
I
will
agree.
pull out a vial of poison. See, look, this is poison, right? And I will drink it. It does nothing to me.
Still has not touched her food, just mouth agape. Right. What? We
Excuse
have
me.
scorpions.
Okay, you see, I have these basic poisons, right? And I put them on my weapons to do extra stuff, right? I'm looking for higher level poisons. And
Wait.
since you're a native here, I was wondering if
I'm
you knew
going to-
anything.
I'm gonna stare down Green and say, "When have you ever done that?" Because I have
Like-
literally never seen him do.
Once or twice. I've done it before.
We've never seen you do that.
You have.
He's done it once.
No,
I'm
I've
going to
done it more.
What?
I'm
like,
going
at the
to
beginning of the
s-
campaign?
He
I was
did
gonna
one
do it
recently.
to the
Stare
baby,
down and
to the
say,
fetus.
"When have you ever done that?"
Who did I do it against, Frog? What fight was that?
I don't
Who did we fight?
remember.
Rita Reeves. It was. It might have been the dragon.
Maybe. Yeah, it might have been the ooze dragon.
Was it?
It might- I think it
so.
I don't
was.
remember.
Because I know you.
Why would he?
I know you,
Why
I
would
know
he poison his weapon against an ooze?
He poisoned it
Dragon.
at some point recently.
Ooze isn't resistant to poison. It's resistant to acid, or immune to acid. I should say.
Anyway,
Anyways, I was wondering, ma'am,
we,
poisonous creatures,
like
like
I-
big ones, you know,
there
like
are-
wyverns or.
There are some
giant
very
poisonous
large
snakes.
scorpions around, but you could talk to
Huh.
a alchemist or herbalist. They would probably have poisons from
Yeah,
the more rare creatures around.
yeah,
here.
but I don't want to buy them.
Well, I don't
That
have
costs
any.
money.
I don't have any.
No, I
money.
wasn't asking you. Poisons.
Uh,
Just making a dinner conversation, you know. I say as I chomp on a bird or a duck leg or whatever.
you could probably walk into the vineyard and find several large scorpions about as long as your leg. That might help.
Those exist.
I'm gonna throw a
Yes.
chicken leg at Roger.
I catch it and eat it.
Boren is also just staring at you guys. But
You also want a chicken leg?
did you ask that to
Um,
Boren?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it at him.
He's gonna try to catch it. What's his dex? Low. He like puts his hand up and it like hits his hand and like falls to the floor. I'm not hungry, thank you. And he picks
Oh,
it up
Alaric,
and takes
there
it
you
off.
are.
And Alaric
Yeah,
steps
like-
in with two small hooded figures and one man who looks pretty much
I
just
like to
Alaric.
think that guy just kind of walked in and saw you throw bones at.
No. It was a full
It
chicken.
was a full chicken leg. You wanted him to eat.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw one at Alaric as I see him walk into the room.
I'm just gonna let it hit me.
Slaps
It's
against your
just
leg.
like-
staring at you. Bounces like off my temple. I'm just looking at you like, okay.
Who are these people?
Do they
How
want
old do
chicken?
these people look? Who
Albrecht.
do the kids look?
The kids look.
Would-
The male looks like 12. The female looks about 18, 20 something. Very
What I
early
recognize is that
20s.
they look
Is
like
she-
Alaric.
Is she sex?
She's an elf, so
Can I have
none of you
my
are
So, yeah.
attracted to her.
my question answered first.
What'd you ask?
But I recognize that they look kind of like Alaric.
Almost immediately, you can tell the kid looks like Alaric probably did when he was younger. You all have seen Alaric without a beard at one point, so
he's
yeah.
When he
shaved at one
shaved.
point.
Yeah, when he
Yeah,
shaved
he
once. And the female looks a lot like Lorelai. But the
Wait.
older gentleman looks about
Hold on a minute.
70s, maybe. His body, he has a young-ish body. He looks like a soldier, but his face is covered in wrinkles and the purple scars along the left side.
Does he have a gut?
Not a huge one. Like it's like a Like a
I look at his
bodybuilder
gut
gut.
in disdain, and I look down at my gut in pride.
It's like a bodybuilder gut. But he's broad and tall, mustache, white hair, red cloak underneath the armor.
So, what's with the kids?
Well, according to Albrecht here, they're mine. I have no
didn't
reason
know they
to
grew that fast.
disbelieve him.
And it was wasn't it like 2 days ago that we had that party?
I don't think that's how kids work, Gree.
Not how kids work.
That's how I work.
However, these are my children, I suppose. In any
You
case,
suppose?
it's a bit difficult for me
There-
to go from
there he
being
is.
a mercenary captain to a father in the span of a night after killing a giant baby that almost wiped us all out.
I'm
So
the big
I
baby.
suppose I'm
The
having
kids
a
are
little
looking
bit
at
of trouble.
Alaric now. Albert
We've-
doesn't
we've
seem
been
phased.
We've been through a lot, kids.
In any
I've told him a bit
case,
about y'all.
I would be very appreciative if you guys would watch and take care of
Oh,
them
so we're babysitting
while
now.
I have a small conversation with Albrecht here. In specific, I want Gree to go nowhere near them.
I'll watch. I'll watch the boy.
You see Lorelai kind of lift her hand up. I could have Boren take them in the other room.
Yes, I think that'd be
We've
for
met
the
them
best
before.
for
I
now.
did not know they were yours, but I've met your friend here. He came by once or twice.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Just look over at Albrecht.
He's got a
now.
just big old smirk on his face.
I don't like that smirk.
He's a lot
Can you
more
guys-
jolly than you remember.
Can you guys please not scare them? For the love of the gods.
Of course, Alaric. I would never. They're
You
your
just threw a
family.
chicken bone or a chicken at
Chicken
Boren.
leg. A chicken leg. He looked hungry. Look at him.
Boren is very skinny, but that's besides the
I
point.
look, I look over at Lorelai. Are they
Oh.
behaving themselves?
They like I expected.
So no. All right, fantastic.
The big
Okay.
one's well mannered. The green one, Gree, he's well mannered. I think he just is excited. This must be the first meal you've all had in a while.
You know,
Yeah.
I know you take after mother, but you don't have to be polite all the time.
She's got like a pained smile on her face. I try.
Yeah. Well, in any case, just take care of these two while I'm gone.
I'll tell him a few stories about us.
Boren wipes the duck sauce off of his clothes and takes them over to the end of the table and gets them plates.
All right, Albrecht. Let's have that talk.
Kind of nods
And-
to you all.
I'm guessing the kids come in,
The kids were there.
Yeah.
It's by
I mean, like,
Albrecht.
sit down at the table.
Yeah, they're sitting at the far end of the table away from all of you. Together, and they're kind of like hushedly whispering to each other every now and then.
I'll
and
float
eating.
over unmoving and just like lean over and tell them the more flattering stories about us.
Make a persuasion check.
No. Tell the story. I want to hear what you have to say.
No,
Yeah,
it's
tell,
No,
tell,
come on,
tell a
I'll
flattering
be it.
story.
Let's be it.
Tell a flattering
Alright, hey.
story.
one moment. I'll open my Hang on.
The first day we met.
I remember like yesterday. I was robbed.
So there we were, a snake-headed bitch. Snakes completely covered her head. And then you just roll persuasion.
Yeah, roll persuasion.
24.
The Isabel, the girl, is kind of like backing away from you a bit, but Aesop is kind of like arms on the table, just kind of looking up at you, wide-eyed. He's interested in your story.
You take after your dad.
Still hasn't,
Hope not
still
in
hasn't
every way.
spoken. But anyway, Albrecht kind of nods, two fingers salute to all of you, and kind of walks back with Alaric.
I'm just staring at the table. My eyes just kind of like focusing in on all of my comrades for a moment, and I just kind of raise a hand. I point him and I say, "Don't fuck this up." I walk out.
Roger's like doing big hand motions for the story.
And then this bitch just goes up into the air and becomes a fucking god. And we almost die. It was great.
You agree, laughing.
Alaric wasn't there for that, but it was cool.
But Albrecht is in the main thoroughfare hallway that leads to the front entrance with you now. Alright, I know you got questions. What's
Well,
the
I
first
guess
one?
the first one is going to be, what's going on? What do you mean you, some threat, some issue?
It's like a disease, I'd say. Doesn't spread, you ain't gotta worry about that, but it ain't doing too well, for me, at least. As he kind of like is rubbing it, the eye and the veins that go across of it.
Okay, what do you want me to do about it? You want me to find you a cure of some sort?
I've already looked for a cure. There ain't no cure.
You want to bet?
I'd be willing to bet a lot of money on that.
So what is it then? How'd you get it?
Well, after I up and left, I took on a few jobs here and there. I was up in Yatasi, the real cold place with all the big giant people.
Right.
Did some work for them, scouring out some little dungeon they didn't feel like going into. There was a bit of treasure in there I wanted. Took a little platoon of men in there, and we found this big winding, this whirlpool in the air. It was dark purple, like little cracks of electricity shooting off of it. Got too close, and I fell in, and next thing I know, I'm awake at the front of the little fort we were at. All my men are gone, and I got this giant purple scar, and I can do this. And he like points his hand at one of the columns that are holding this nice pottery, and you see this kind of pull of purple like mist around his hand as he closes it into a fist, and the pottery flies towards him, and he catches it.
Interesting.
Couldn't do that before.
I don't think you could.
It's
but,
not all bad, but it ain't all good either. It's painful. Very painful. Can't get much sleep. I see things. I hear things. Not sure if they're there, though.
What do you see and what do you hear?
Mostly outlines of people. Faint shapes of dark purple and smoke that kind of rush towards me and vanish. I don't think I've had a good dream in the past 15 years.
Well, I guess we got something in common at least.
I've done a bit of research, and the only thing I've gathered is that portal was the vortex was a portal to the Shadowfell. I didn't even think it existed, to be honest.
Well,
And I guess whatever was in there decided to spare me and give me a little bit of a kick.
well, in my experience, anything like that rarely spares anybody. I think you're walking away with cancer. That's what's killing you.
Seems like what it is. It's definitely a cancer of some sort. And you see, like, as he's been talking, the breath is cold. Like, you can see condensation of breath in the air, even though this is a warm area and the house is also pretty warm.
Well, you said you found it in the ice giant place. What was it?
Yatasi.
Yatasi. Yeah.
Even though Yatasi
Well-
is the big country that just recently got, like, civilized.
Well,
And they got a lot of weird stuff over there.
I guess we can go investigate it if you'd like.
I've already
Something
been
like
back
that
there.
might
There was nothing there.
nothing left at all.
Nothing. There was a bit of armor left from my little platoon, but it was
No
all torn
bodies?
open. No bodies. No blood. Seems like whatever was spat out the armor, but not them. All their weapons.
Alright, well, there are a couple of people that I need you to meet in that case, but to be entirely frank with you, I don't know if I trust you.
I don't blame you.
You know,
You know how I was, so.
I know how you were, and I think I know how you are now. I don't think some portal throwing you out, chewing you up is gonna change the man inside. Not you. Anybody else, maybe, but not you.
He's just like stroking his beard. Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't change immediately. Took time.
Alright, what about them? Those two.
I found them. They were up in near Clayton. Peasants, orphans, and they had your resemblance. I've been with them for about 2 years, looking for you.
They have family?
They had a mom. She was sick, and she died.
Alright.
She said she didn't
Well,
said she didn't hate you, but she wanted you to meet them at least. I trusted them into me. I was helping the town for a while. Didn't want them to live on the streets.
well, at least did something good, I guess. Alright, well,
I like to think I've been a
The-
net good the recent few years.
Blue Giant might be able to have a small conversation about the Shadowfell with you. Might be able to figure something out, or have some knowledge on it. I don't know. I'm no sorcerer wizard, so you're best left talking to him. I'll go take care of the other two. But if I get so much as a sliver of an idea that you are a threat to anybody here, I will not hesitate to butcher you. Keep that in mind.
Big old smile on his face. I taught you well. And you seem like do the same thing he did with the vase, except he puts it back. It kind of like
Yeah.
rattles a bit.
You did. Let's go. I got dinner to eat.
He walks in.
And that's when Alaric gets blown off the wall, and some guy we barely know catches him and almost rips his arm out of its socket. And then I kill the man who did it.
Aesop has not touched his food. He's just been listening the whole time. Isabel has moved her seat to the opposite side of Aesop and is eating quietly.
So I walk in, I hear that, and I say, Aesop, eat.
Kind of looks over to you and then back to Albrecht, and Albrecht gives a bit of a nod. He
Eat your vegetables.
kind of looks
People
up to
bring
you,
us wrong
Roger.
with me.
Says, "Thanks for the story." And goes back to his
Anytime.
food.
And I'll
Roger, were you
float
telling him
back.
stories about how I got my ass kicked?
I was telling him stories about how we collectively got our ass kicked at different moments in time.
Well,
Yeah, all of them just happen to
Aesop,
be about you.
I like to imagine Gree is also looking at Roger while he's telling the story, just like Aesop is.
well, Aesop, it is true I was launched off of a wall, and I did get my arm mangled up a little bit, but in return I got this, and I just kind of whip my metal
Shoot
arm out.
them.
I take out like the grappling hook. I use it to pull a glass of wine over to me.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh god, the wine glass just.
Now, I warn you, I'm not the best at this. Let's see what happens. Hey!
You precisely calculate where the grappling hook goes and fire, and it hooks the end of the wine glass. The wine spills on the table, but you catch the glass. And you see Aesop like kind of slow clap a bit. And,
Yeah, well, I'm no performer, and I have to sit down.
the two kids go back to whispering. Albrecht takes a seat kind of close to them, but more closer to the rest of you. And he sits down and grabs a plate himself as Boren
Roger
attempts to bring
gets
him
up
in.
and squashes every fucking cricket in existence. God damn it.
It's actually a meal of crickets. But Albrecht gets a plate and begins eating.
I can still hear him. Fuck you.
Roger jumps out the window to fight the crickets. What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I'm just sitting here trying to eat my food, feeling like I don't have much of an appetite, but trying anyway.
You see Mark is also eating food, but the plate is empty. He's just lifting the fork of air every now and then.
Mark, are you not going to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not going to eat, Mark?
Eat. Yeah, I'm eating.
You're lifting the plate, or you're lifting the fork up and scratching the plate. Those are nice plates, Mark.
I'm not scratching the plate.
As Mark puts the empty fork in his mouth.
Can
Wait,
I
what?
do like a roll to see if I'm scratching the plate?
Sure, make a dexterity save.
I don't want to be scratching the plate.
You do not scratch the plate.
Hey, good. I have
I'm on my 10th plate of chicken.
Yeah,
Well,
Gree has
Mark,
eaten 3 whole ducks already.
I understand you don't need to eat or breathe, but I think that eating would,
Or
at
drink.
least feel good somehow.
Lorelai kind of looks over. He doesn't need to eat. Oh, breathe. Is he-
Long story
Kind
short,
of like leans over. Is he dead?
he's not
Nah,
dead.
it's fine.
He's not dead. You'd think so, but He's not dead. We just ran into a
Actually-
demon that he infused with that made sure that he doesn't need to eat or breathe.
Well, actually, it's breathe, eat, or sleep. But doesn't actually say drink. So do I still have to drink?
No.
We've already answered this question.
I'll get a glass of water, put it in the action figure's hands, and tell him to carry it over to one of the kids, and then have him walk back.
It like gives a salute and like struggles to lift the glass for a moment and then marches down the table really slowly.
But
Takes about a minute.
You'll get there.
I imagine you're just like arms head on the table watching it.
When it passes by me, I'll cast time pass on it.
It just
Twinkle.
speeds up.
They go a little bit faster.
It's like someone sped up the footage of it moving.
The water freezes.
The water
So
evaporates.
the water would evaporate, but I didn't cast it on the
Yeah,
water,
no.
don't worry.
It gets the glass over to Aesop.
I cast vicious mockery on it.
The column
Nice.
explodes.
but in any case, he's fine. You don't have to worry about it eating all your stores, unlike another person here. I look over at Gree.
Borin is now laying down
I
another
would-
plate.
What?
Gree,
You're on the other side of the
eating
room.
Everything.
I can't hear you.
He's like 5
Right
feet away
across the
from
table
you.
From me.
Where are you, Alaric? You're invisible.
As Borin sets down another glass of wine.
Why do I travel with these people? Why couldn't I just have lived on a farm?
You're literally floating, and you weigh 700 pounds. I don't want to hear.
Well, Lorelai, is there any way that you can get these guys some rooms, bedrooms?
Your
something?
friends or the new guests?
Our new guests. I'm more concerned about them.
Luckily, we have a lot of room.
Wow,
It's
Alaric.
just
Wow.
me.
I'll remember this. You see, Gree will remember that pop up at the top left of the screen.
Three minor allusions of that to appear.
Oh, Lorelai, I meant to ask you. I don't remember if we already asked her or not. Do you know of any teleportation circles in the country?
In Bella Villa? No.
Anywhere?
There's likely one in Trigol. Usually one in the capitals. Ponzili is the only one that's open to everyone, so you'd have to ask around in Trigol.
Thank you.
Oh, we're going to Ponsley anyway.
She begins eating, but eventually she looks over to Yugri. Borin told me that he acquired a deed from you.
Mhm.
To
What?
the
I thought I gave it to her. No, I thought I gave it to Alaric.
Alaric
yeah,
gave
I
it to
gave
Borin.
it to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was very kind of you to give that back. I had been searching for it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do not need the house. I only need the vineyards. So you and whoever you'd like could own the house if you'd like. I have no use of it. It's a nice little manor.
I already gave up on it, honestly.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
lovely home.
If you
Roger.
could buy me a poison instead.
Mm.
I could buy you some poison. It's probably not that expensive.
Yeah, it's really not. If I'd I'd accept that as a instead.
Borin,
Uh,
can you tell someone to run to the alchemist and get some poison in the morning? Also, Borin, what's your drink? Make sure nothing's in it. Looks back at you.
as for the manor there, I suppose we could. Roger, you said that you wanted a nice place to live. What do you think about this country here?
I like this country, and I think it's a very nice country, but I want the house that I build to be mine. And
Very well.
most places here aren't built for someone like me.
In that
That
case,
is certainly true.
They're
how
manors, so
far away is this vineyard?
they can hold you, but they're not built for you, obviously.
And I also want my own farm.
It is. You remember before it's pretty close to yours. It's like the opposite end of the cliff.
Okay. So, how far would you say miles-wise?
About 2.
2 miles. Okay. Lorelai, in that case, I would very much appreciate it if you could house these two
Looks over
in
them
that manner.
by themselves.
Not by themselves. I'll have some people sent over to watch over them, but
Wouldn't it be better for them to be here for the time being?
For
Until,
the time
like,
being,
the manor
yeah,
split up?
stay here.
If,
Wasn't
if their
it? Was
family
the manor
would-
abandoned for like 100 years?
yeah, it was. It's been rebuilt, but it was abandoned when the family died.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We will go check it out, make sure it's safe for them, but keep them here for at least a year. And then after a year, there should be people there that will want to take care of them, something like that. I don't know.
Well,
I'm just
hopefully
trying to-
after a year, this business is done, and you can look after them yourself.
Hopefully.
Also,
We'll
that.
see. Until I come back, just keep them here then.
If they're family, they're more than welcome to stay. Friends of yours are also welcome to stay, as long as they're not an army of 250 people.
It's not an army of 250 people, I can promise you
I'm
that.
about an
much.
army of 100. Thank you for the offer.
Yeah, you have that many fucking daggers.
I only have like 80.
Oh, only, huh?
I open up my jacket to the kids. You collect a lot of things on your travels.
Albrecht, you want to ask Mark here about your experience?
Albrecht is like devouring his food very, very quickly. Oh, right.
I gave him a wink.
Kind of winks back, kind of oddly.
Because he's. Okay.
I know what you mean, but he looks over to you, Mark,
Yeah, that's fine.
and he finishes his food, sets down the wine glass. Alaric tells me that you're one of the educated types.
I mean, it's very flattering of him.
He was very kind in his words, but he told me to ask you about this, and he kind of points at the purple stuff around him, and tells you basically the same story that he told Alaric.
Mm-hmm.
I
Fall into a portal.
I don't know much about the Shadowfell, but I know it's not good, and I don't know what
You
would
can say that.
what would give me this ability and this curse, if you could call it that.
What ability?
He kind of looks at your empty glass and then pulls it over towards him, and it teleports into his hand. Yeah, I can do a few other things, but they're more destructive, and he kind of pushes it back to you.
What would I know I came up with?
Uh,
Because out of game, I have no
Make
idea what you're talking
I know.
about.
Make a
I don't either.
history check.
It's probably custom magic. Well, yeah, because sometimes he uses things that are like real in-game things, and sometimes he makes things up.
You haven't had a lot of
If only I had
research
help.
about the Shadowfell, but you do know about the Feywild, which is the opposite of the Shadowfell, and both the Feywild and the Shadowfell are reflections of the material plane, which is the normal world. The Shadowfell is the more evil side, where dark magic is, and where shadows live. And the Feywild is full of fairy sprites and everything nice, except they also want to kill you. So if you like put an inverse filter on the real world, that's the Shadowfell.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put a sepia filter and saturation up, that's the Feywild.
Can we meet Nega misfits?
No, you can't. But you don't really know what would take in a person and a group of people and spit one back out with abilities.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would get there in the first place.
You would know the plane shift spell can take you there.
Yeah, but like, as a swirling vortex.
Yeah. Plane
Not so
shift, plane
sure
shift
about
is
that
like immediate, so yeah, you don't know much about a
Yeah.
vortex.
Well, I'll have to get back to you after I do some research. I know less and less about other planes.
Well, you know more than I do, and I appreciate that. As he goes back to eating.
Did you want me to try and cure him, Alaric?
I don't think you can cure this kind of thing.
Wouldn't hurt to try at least.
I've went to a lot of doctors, medical men, the men with the really long bird masks, and none of them have helped. The one with the bird mask put leeches on me, and I didn't really like that much.
Bro, you know they just do that so they can huff
Yeah.
like drugs.
Yeah. He doesn't know that.
Well, if you want to try and cure him, I'm not going to stop you. If you can do it, you can
It's
do
gonna,
it. But
it's gonna take an hour.
we can do it after we eat then.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, so I just kind of go the rest of the dinner trying to be quiet, keeping an eye on the kids.
Every once in a while, I'll let the action figure take over like a piece of bread or something. And...
Okay. It takes it a while to run down the table, but it gets the
I
food there.
speed it
Anyway.
up as it walks past.
Okay. Aesop enjoys the little show that it has. Isabel doesn't look too interested. She has not spoken yet. Doesn't look too interested in anything any of you have been saying. Occasionally, both of them will just like look up after speaking to each other and just stare at Alaric for a minute and then go back to talking.
He's kind of fucking ugly, don't you think? Yeah, he really is.
The golem nods. But with that, you finish your dinner.
Lorelai, where would their rooms be located?
The top floor has quite a few rooms. Only
I
two of
think I
them
remember.
are occupied. So
I'll show him to the rooms. Roger, Gary, Mark, you see if you can cure his ailment.
Well, Gray, you wanna do whatever it is you do?
Yeah, I'll fucking.
Don't you need to attend to the thing first?
I'm not. I'll attune to the what's it called?
Siphon's mantle.
The cloak.
Alright. You attune to that as Mark dies.
Yeah. I'll go up to I don't know his name. Guy with the eye guy.
I version 2.
And I'll attempt to suck in his disease and cast dispel magic at the same time so that it counteract it.
Okay.
Counteract the magic in it, I guess.
You walk up to a room, you sit him down, you attempt to, or first you spend an hour just looking at this cloak and then put it on. He seems a bit confused by that, but you attempt to siphon the disease out like you have previously as you try to cast a spell magic on this person. Make a Arcana check.
Wouldn't it be for okay?
Natural 20. Natural fuck.
As you're pulling with the siphon's mantle, usually this like almost like a wisp of very dark smoke comes out of these diseased people, but for him this almost like purple mist begins to leak from his skin into the mantle. He looks pretty shocked by this as it begins to pull further and further into the mantle, and you try to cast a spell magic. It flares very vibrantly into this very deep purple and then retracts back into him, and you see the veins across his face, arms, chest, and legs kind of flare this deep purple across all of them, and he kind of falls over for a second, and you see his teeth gritting and his eyes narrow in very severe pain.
That was supposed to work.
I don't
Want a drink?
It normally
don't
works.
think it did. I'll take that drink.
I'll have it on my
Clutching
flask.
his side.
I handed him a poison vial.
Don't drink that.
I'm not drinking poison. Well, that didn't work, but I appreciate the attempt, even if it did break one of my ribs, I think. Oh, and he sits back down.
Have you? It seems magical. Have you tried Australium?
I've tried. I've touched it to myself, and nothing happens. But when I'm touching it, I can't do the pull thing. So, but it didn't do much else. I ate a piece. Hurt.
Hold on. You want me to try again and then hit you with Australian while it's doing?
No, please don't try again.
Don't do that. It's maybe one of the fellows back home can help us.
See, I think the issue, I don't think it's a disease. I think it's more of a curse, maybe.
Parasite.
Virus,
the
something. I don't know.
The Gray Men dealt with a disease. Maybe it's similar to this.
You would know
They
they dealt
don't.
with ashen sun sickness.
Yeah, we don't. I don't. Ryder doesn't know what that kind of disease is.
Not really.
I could tell you that it wasn't like this.
It wasn't.
Ashen sun sickness is like your skin dries up and flakes into this white powder, like your body's made of paper almost. This, very, very different.
Yeah, very different. All right.
He seems to have no physical symptoms, like or a aesthetic symptoms, really,
mean,
besides
purple.
the purple veins that go across his body, which are now a bit longer than they were before. I appreciate the attempt, but whatever that is, I don't think it worked. I think you just made it angry.
It's angry?
I don't know. I'm just spitting words out right now.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
I'll give Roger advantage.
I wouldn't do that, but okay. Oh, 19.
You can tell he's not the most educated person. He's probably just referring to it as a thing, like if you hit a tree and it like hits you in the face, people would say it's angry. Like the branch swings back and hits you in the face.
Fair enough. Well, there has to be something.
There probably is.
Well, maybe the college in Ponzoli will have an idea.
You think you can get in there? I've tried.
My sister's there.
Oh, that's impressive. I tried to get in and they threw me out.
We kind of have business there anyway, so maybe we could take you with us.
Good. He kind of puts his cloak and shirt back on. Walks over to you, Gree. Like I said, appreciate the help, but don't do that again, please. As he takes another swig of alcohol. Alright, so what do you guys do now?
Well, I'm just taking the other two to their rooms, Isabel and Isaac.
Alright, you walk past the room as you hear Albrecht screeching in pain, but you go past with the two kids who are kind of like 5 feet back, arms together, as you lead them to a room.
What have you heard about me? What has Albrecht said about me?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
He has to persuade them to talk.
17.
The young one, especially. Isabel kind of looks up. This is the first time you've really seen her look up, out from under the cloak as she lets it down. He's told us you were a mercenary of some kind.
Yep.
But he said that you and your friends are adventuring types. You help people.
Yep, guess you could say that.
But that's not what Mother said.
I figured. What'd she say?
Said you weren't a very good person, but you could have been if raised differently. I guess that's why she never looked for you.
I don't blame her.
She said
No,
she
I wasn't
worked here.
I wasn't a good person. She didn't work here. Your mother was a slave. Me and my
Aesop
family used to
Aesop
own
looks a little confused, but Isabel seems to. She probably knew.
we used to own your mother. And I used to be a very
Wait,
bad
that
person.
doesn't line up. Isn't Alaric like 40 something?
Yeah.
Wasn't he 15 when all this shit went down?
About.
Yep.
I don't see how that doesn't line up.
Because he was 15 and it's been 20 years-ish.
He's 35. Or he's 34.
Oh, I thought he was like 40 something.
Yeah,
Never
he's
mind.
34. So
Alright,
it does
that's
add
up.
up, yeah.
Never mind.
With one of them. The other one, not so much.
Yeah.
But, Alaric is not really thinking about that right now. He just kind of,
Alaric, make a history check.
Alright.
Can he do basic math?
Like I said, he's not thinking about that right now. He's
Oh.
just trying to get them into comfort.
Can't
all he's
do
thinking
basic
about.
math.
You know, elves age slowly. You're not sure about half elves.
So, I just continue like, yeah, well, I was not the best person. I used to do some terrible things, and then I ran into a wayfaring knight. Could you believe it? I didn't think the guys existed. He saved me, and he told me how
What
to be a
kind of
good person. And,
What kind of knight? What?
a wayfaring knight.
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, you're not there, so it doesn't matter. But
I'm not there. I thought I was
No,
there.
you're in the room with Albrecht right now.
Oh.
So, this guy, he picks me up and he shows me how to be a swordsman, how to swing a sword, how to fight honorably. He died. pretty quickly. And that's when Albrecht picked me up. And Albrecht taught me how to be a bastard. And when I say the word, I catch it like as soon as it's out of my mouth.
Yeah,
I
Isabel's
stop
got
and
a
I say,
slight frown. Aesop doesn't seem to know what the word means.
but he taught me how to survive. I assume that's what he's been teaching you guys how to do since you've been traveling with him.
Isabel nods. Aesop knows how to swing a dagger, at least.
Well, that's good. It's good. You should always learn how to protect yourself. I might teach you guys a couple of things, but I'm a different person than when I was younger, I guess. I used to do terrible things, and I did terrible things, and only recently, within the last year or so, I've turned that whole ship around. Now,
Albrecht said the same
I
thing
don't
about himself.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I'm a good person, because that's bullshit. And your family, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, and frankly, I don't mind that you're around. Matter of fact, it's gonna make me sleep easier at night, I think. But you should go your own way. You should stay here for a while, and once I finish up what I'm gonna finish up, I'll teach you guys how to protect yourselves, how to survive out there, and then, I don't know. I'm not gonna be a good father. I don't think so. I don't think I deserve to be a father anymore. But we'll see how it goes, and I just want to make sure you guys are safe. So, these are your rooms. Sleep. If you're hungry, let Oren know. He'll bring you something. He used to be a slave here too. And, I don't know. I guess that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, anything you want to say to me?
Aesop kind of nods his head no, and you see Isabel kind of like push him into the room a bit as she like feigns walking in, but turns around and steps up to you a little bit. Kind of like almost an intimidating way, but she's also a young half-elf girl, so but she kind of looks at you. Aesop is not my mother's. He's another one's. He might be yours. He might be your father's. We're not sure, but he's like a brother to me, so.
I understand. You're angry with me, aren't you?
He thinks you're his father. I'm not angry.
You've been silent the entire night.
I don't have much to say. I've
Yeah.
been on the road for 2 years now. I was a peasant for most of my life. I've seen Albert kill dozens of men who attempt to rob us.
Do you know how to defend yourself?
So you kind of take her hand out, and you see a small, like, dagger made of light kind of appear, and it kind of disappears.
Interesting.
I've been taught a few things, not by Albrecht.
What about
You
what
see
about
her.
him? He says he's.
You see, around her neck appears to be some sort of holy symbol. You're not sure what kind though.
Yeah. So religious type, I take it, huh?
Mother was. I've been.
Did she teach you?
No. She never forced it on us. I learned myself, and I've been guided. I think it's why I'm alive.
I'm just glad you're safe, and I'm glad he's safe. Whether he's mine or not, don't care. As long as you're both safe. Here. And I take out my father's dagger and I hand it to her, and I say, "You give that to him. This is, I'd like to keep it. It was my father's, but I think that he might make more out of it than I will. Something tells me this dagger is going to be very important to him at some point. He can say that you can just tell him that it's mine and that I trust him with it. But in either way, sleep well. Don't leave. I know you're probably thinking about that right now, just showing up in this big house.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, well, that just means desperate people do desperate things. Don't be stupid. I'll be in the room next to yours.
She kind of almost like reaches out for a handshake, but pulls back and starts walking into the room and turns back. I hope you're as changed as Albrecht said to you are, and as Albrecht said he is. And walks into the room, shuts the door.
And as she shuts the door, and Alaric whispers to himself, "Yeah, me too." I just kind of go to the room next door, take off the armor, put the sword against a wall or something.
Still got a
just
bit
kind
of
sit there.
baby blood on it.
And sit there for a little bit. I assume he cleaned himself up before
Yeah,
dinner,
yeah.
but he just kind of like sits there for a little bit, cracks his knuckles, looks at his arm, and just starts trying to contact his arm.
Alright, make an Arcana check. Or just a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Yeah, you don't have proficiency in it, so it's a check.
Well, it's a -1 in wisdom, but I got a 0 in Arcana.
It's a 1.
All right. I'll do wisdom save.
Not great. You hear no whispers, but what are you trying to obtain?
I'm just gonna try and ask it about the eye that Albrecht has.
Okay. You spend a couple minutes there, not really getting anything back, and you kind of relax for a moment, but nothing comes. And I assume you go to bed.
Before.
Well, I'm not gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna stay up. I guess like half the night, give myself a short rest, but just make sure that the other two are safe and not doing anything stupid.
Okay.
Before I go to bed, I'll call Alaric on the ringer and ask him if he wants me to like post up outside of their room.
Post
No.
up.
I will. I'll take care of him. You go to bed. You and the rest of them.
All right. I don't have to sleep.
Mark will lie awake in existential dread.
I'm gonna think about the dark land place, whatever
The
place.
Shadowfell.
Yeah, that one.
Agree is gonna put down a bear trap.
Winterfell. I'm gonna think about Winterfell.
Hey, I didn't name this one. This is D&D official.
Really?
I put down a bear
Yeah.
trap.
I figured. Do you sleep in the cube or do you sleep in the bed? Agree.
Hmm?
Do you sleep in the cube or do you sleep in the bed?
I'm gonna first check out the bed to make sure there's no stains on it.
Make an investigation check.
Make a black light check.
I take out my trusty handy dandy black light.
Take out the beholder.
Yeah.
This is a very, very clean, nice room, like top tier hotel, top tier inn. Very, very nice. Large open bay window. A lot of
I
books.
put a bear trap by the window too,
Okay.
and I sleep in the bed.
All right.
There's books in here. I want to read the book.
Okay. Most of the books are like very, very basic information, like here's what's in the desert, here's what's in the mountains, here's how you make wine, history of Bella Villa, all that stuff.
I want to know how to make wine. Teach me.
Okay. You make an intelligence check.
I'm very good at those.
There's no like retaining memory
Very
check.
good at those.
Agree. Over the course of an hour or two, you read the book a couple times. You know how to make wine. If given a bit of time, you can make some.
I
wine.
use the alchemy vial and just make some wine.
You think about stomping your feet in some grapes and then letting it ferment with some spices and some sugars, and then you just make some wine in the alchemy jug. And then you go to bed.
Much easier. It's much easier. Yeah. I
Like,
go to
wow,
bed.
why do people ever do this? This is so much easier. Everyone should
It's
have
so
one of
much
these.
easier.
Everyone should have one of these. All right, all of you head to bed. Alaric, you're staying up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give myself like a short rest, not a long rest.
Okay. All right. All of you.
Pretty sure you still get exhaustion from it.
No,
right?
no. As long as you sleep at all, you don't get exhaustion. Or if you're not Mark.
I don't know how that works. I don't remember. Whatever.
All of you sleep comfortably, except Mark, who stares at the ceiling.
Screams internally.
Alaric, you kind of anxiously just stay up. But around 1 o'clock in the morning, Alaric, you hear a knock at your door.
Yeah, I go answer it.
You open it and you see Albrecht standing there. The veins on his body now a bit deeper purple.
Need something?
I wasn't totally honest with what I wanted when I got here.
Didn't think you
Oh,
were.
what a shocker. You hear Roger say over the ear.
I don't want money or land or anything, if that's what you're thinking. I brought those kids here out of the kindness of my own heart. Whatever little bit there is there, but like I mentioned, this thing is threatening. It's a disease. It's eating away at me. I get weaker by the day. I get more angry by the day about my situation. But I've managed to put that aside while I was bringing those kids and traveling around, saving them if need be. I was seeking you out already when I found them, and our paths just happened to align. You're my greatest student, I'd say. I've trained a lot of people, but you're the only one who's alive.
Alaric is just staring at him.
I need you to end this. And he hand motions over the purple side of his body. End this and just let me go of whatever it is.
Do you want to die?
I don't think I have much of an option. I've
You're
talked to
not
all
gonna
the
make it easy, are you?
I've talked to all the holy men, all the educated men. No one knows what it is. No one knows how to get rid of it. And if they do, they're holding that information behind a fine, but I'm not sure if anyone has it. I don't think it's curable. I think it's a stain on the soul. And that is quite fitting for me, isn't it?
Your soul is black as it comes, but
That's a bit of purple.
we are
I
going
gotta say.
we are going to Solia, to Ponzali. We have to have a conversation with some of the people there. That being said, we can get into that college of theirs, and we can see what we can do. If it's incurable, I'll kill you. We'll be there tomorrow. Hell, it'll be maybe a couple
6
hour
hours.
trip, but we'll be there tomorrow. We can see what we can do about your little curse here. If you live, you live. Man, you got to deal with the weight of your sins on your shoulders till the day you die. And I think that's more fitting than just killing you right here, right now. But if we can't cure it, then yes, I will kill you.
You seem like just hearing that he could die, like you can tell he's been thinking about this for a while, but just hearing it out unnerves him a bit.
You don't like death, huh?
No, but I don't like whatever this is a lot more. Your friend tried to get rid of it. I think it almost worked, but I don't think it was quite there.
Well, if Gree, the bumbling ooze, can do it, then I have no doubt that somebody in that college will be able to do it. So, we'll take you there tomorrow. See what we can do. And if it does work out, then hallelujah. I suspect my mercenary band might benefit from your teachings.
Maybe. I've taught Aesop a few things. Didn't really need to teach Isabel much.
Where'd you learn everything?
I guess at church. One of the ones that were in Clayton. Not exactly sure what kind it is.
Alright.
I'm not a very educated man, if you couldn't tell.
You go rest. Tomorrow, we'll go to Ponzali.
Alright. What about the kids?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Kind of nods a bit. Hope you, if I am gone, hope you can treat them well. Raise them right.
I will.
Their mother did a good job, and I think I didn't do too bad myself.
We'll see how it all goes down, but you get your rest, old man.
Reaches out to shake your hand.
I don't shake it, I just look at him and I say, listen, you taught me everything I know. You let me be the worst kind of person for a long, long time. Now, I respect you for your skill, for your ability to kill and fight, but beyond that, there's nothing there. Don't go thinking there's something where there's nothing. Now go.
So him kind of like stiffen up a bit. He's a bit taller than you, so he like looks down at you a little bit, and he nods and walks away.
Yeah, I just close the door, sit down back in my bed, look out, make sure that there's no running child in the
There's Gree, but
and then basically at the start of light, that's when Alaric just kind of lays his head down and finally sleeps.
all right. The rest of you awaken at around like 7 in the morning. Mark, you float out of bed like a vampire at the dawn of first light, but all of you smell a very familiar smell of breakfast downstairs as you awaken.
I want to smell the very familiar smell of a
I'm glad you cut out. I don't know what you said.
bath.
You can get a bath. You can have a bath, yeah, if you'd like.
We probably would have taken a bath when we got home from the baby.
Well, we didn't specify. You specified though. It means you're too smelly and covered in
You're all
baby gut.
smelly. You can have
We
a bath
take a
if you'd like.
shower after they go to bed. Take a shower before you go to bed. More.
No. Ew.
You sweat in the night,
Exactly.
especially
Yeah,
in
Thank you.
but
this country.
you still dirty your bed more if you
So?
don't take a shower
I'm-
beforehand.
I mean, am I ever gonna sleep in this bed again?
Maybe. Maybe this becomes the holiday home.
I'm taking
I
a bath.
uncover myself and horizontally float down to the dinner table.
You see Boren like preparing dinner on the table, and he looks over and he kind of like almost drops the plate as you float down. And he goes back to setting the table.
Good morning. How are you?
Morning. That was strange.
I
your
stand
legs
up and just
work?
walk.
No.
I drop to the ground, or I like stand up straight and then like go to the ground.
He drops to the ground on his back.
My legs are so atrophied, they snap.
It's been like a month.
I have been walking occasionally, alright? Sometimes I have to float.
But you stand. Right. Well,
Yeah.
breakfast is ready. We have a large selection of food.
I'm
We also have-
dreaming of
You're a good man there.
Christmas.
Thank you.
And we also have baths if you'd like to take one.
You hear
I took one last
Grease
time.
singing in the bath.
Especially not while he's in there.
I think the green one might have turned the water the same color he is.
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
As Mark also floats downstairs. But Alaric, you
Yeah.
eventually awaken about an hour after everyone else. Before Alaric gets down, though, Albrecht and the kids would have joined you at the table.
While we're here, I'm gonna try and get my my monk robe, my hand of the broken eye. No, the broken eye monk robes, right? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get them like pressed.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
they're
Boren can
clean.
press and clean them for you.
Clean and nice and wrinkle free, you know.
I assumed for some reason you were in the pimp outfit during the baby
No, I
fight.
took that
though.
off. No. That would have been funny, but we were on the road for like 11 days.
Yeah.
They would have gotten like ripped and tore up every time I like ran up a tree.
I assume you did that a lot.
Oh yeah.
You ran
I
up
can
the
run up
orient.
trees.
But you can have your clothes pressed and washed and starched a bit. But Gree comes out of the bathhouse looking like a new man. Still
Wrapped
green.
in the towel.
Wrapped in a towel.
He has a turban on those.
It's actually just his hair.
It's just not combed. It's
It's naturally cone shaped when you get out of the shower.
exactly.
It's actually comb over shaped.
Despite having like a literal bald spot that I shave.
Yeah. But all of you can have baths and have your clothes washed and pressed if you'd like.
Eh.
You don't want to have clean clothes? Okay, stinky.
Yeah, I
Well,
should probably take a
our
bath.
clothes
and-
probably would have been washed like after the baby anyway.
Did you specify that, Lowell? That didn't happen.
I've been holding on my shit for 6 months.
Literally Vesper. Mark hasn't shit.
Mark hasn't eaten, breathed, slept, anything.
Pissed.
Quick break as I'm getting a phone call. I knew they'd find some way to knock
Told
on
you.
my door.
Fucking told you.
It happens every time.
So Mark, do you still
Yes.
shit?
Well, if I don't eat, I don't need to.
No, you still should, even if you eat. Or you don't eat, rather.
That's not. No.
No, that
Shit
is
literally
Starving
true.
people shit.
Shit is literally just food going through your body.
That's not how it works, Vesper. Unironically, like, it's not how it works.
What
You
is it
still
then?
shit.
What is it then?
Just waste that your body produces.
Literally
Blood.
what? No.
Blood.
No,
You
you
know,
piss
shit
out.
like that.
You piss all the blood.
Vesper, did you never
Your
take a
piss
health
is-
class?
Your
Did you-
piss isn't red.
Even if you're in the desert, you still piss.
Yeah.
Even if you were starving to death in the desert, you still shit.
Even if you don't eat, you still
Whoa,
poop. That's
really?
because poo. Hold on, guys. I'm looking up poo fact. That's because poo is made up of more than just food you ingest. Yeah.
Vesper, it's like you never took a health class.
Okay. I mean, we don't
But
talk
to be
about.
fair, my health class never went over the
We also don't talk about people.
specifics of poop and deserts.
Logistics
We
of
also,
shit.
we also don't talk about people who haven't eaten for months on end.
It's mostly common knowledge.
literally a
Yeah,
like
literally.
half a
Do
year.
cows have fur?
If Joe knows it, then it's common
I
knowledge,
didn't know that.
obviously.
I didn't know that.
How?
What do you mean,
Yeah,
how?
Your
I
health class went over
asked.
some pretty specific things.
Hey, listen,
Clearly.
when you're a shit connoisseur like me,
Yeah,
it's
see
like,
here.
When do you
Well,
only shit
well,
once a
well.
week? Like me.
I only shit once a year. It's about time for that yearly shit, the annual shit.
See, the
I
problem
shit
is
as
no
much
one,
as I shower.
no one hasn't eaten for literally like a month or like six.
People have gone a long time without eating.
I said or six because
Fuck.
we've
Did
done a bunch of
Gandhi
time
shit?
skips.
Was Gandhi a shitter?
So glad Frog is gonna hear, like, he's gonna skip to a random part in the recording, and we're just gonna be talking about shit, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Jake, does Alaric shit?
He does. He is a man like everybody else.
He pops a squat in the woods with a few leaves, and does what he
The
needs to
one
do.
big green leaf.
Actually, that's a 23.
Okay, Boker. Just so you guys are aware, Greed definitely shits. Big poop. It's like sometimes it stuffs the chamber pot. They have to like get a fork to dig it out.
Okay, I'm back.
We're talking about shit.
I expect nothing
We
less.
talked about shit for a solid 5 minutes.
Great.
Does,
Bro,
does...
you know that even if you don't
Hold
eat,
on,
you
wait,
still shit,
no,
right?
no, no, don't.
You know this, right?
Hold on. Did you hear what he said?
What?
You heard what he said?
I'm actually unironically
Hold on,
asking
no,
you
hold
this,
on, no.
because
Frog,
we were talking about this.
do you shit if you don't eat?
Anyway,
No, answer the question.
you
very
guys
important.
get your clothes pressed and washed, and you have breakfast.
Frog, logistically, it's not a question. Does Mark still shit?
No.
Exactly.
That's not how it works. That's how shit.
Anyway,
Loyal.
Stop.
Jesus fucking Christ! I'm never giving you guys items ever again. You
We're
have a
trying the-
pleasant
The
breakfast.
logistics of this.
Alaric,
Have
you
a pleasant
awaken
shit.
about an hour later, but you come down to the smell of breakfast, and everyone's kind of finishing up their plates as you step down the stairs.
Yeah, I
Shit.
suppose I'll just join them.
Alright.
Sit down, eat some breakfast, and then say after like a couple of minutes, like, we're going to Ponzali to see if we can cure our friend here, Albrecht.
Hey, Larry.
Well, that's not the only reason we're going there, but that is.
That is
The
one of
reason.
the reasons, yes.
Do you want to give us an inspiring chat?
I don't.
It's
like
gonna be
you.
gone by the time that we.
I just
Take the
look.
day.
I just look at Ray. I'm like, no.
I mean, I'm just saying. if we run into trouble on the way, we could use.
We're
We're
gonna
not
be in a
run into
carriage.
trouble on the way.
Just saying, you could use your ability better because it lasts all day. Just saying.
Doesn't
Give
it
us
last
extra-
like an hour or like a
no,
short
it
rest?
lasts all day.
Either way.
Yeah, no, I just look at you and say, no. I just woke up, I'm eating breakfast. We've got work to do
Take a
today.
bath. You kind of smell like fetus guts.
I will take a bath once I finish eating, and then we'll go.
And you could eat in the bath. I mean,
It's a very big, nice
trying to
bathtub. Big windows. Clouded windows, no one
Oh.
can see in.
No, I don't think I'll be doing that, Bree.
okay. Recommending it. Just trying to be helpful.
But you all have a very
sure
nice
you're doing your best.
Albrecht and the kids happily eat a very, very nice breakfast. You can tell they were on the road for a while. Eventually, during the meal, as everyone's finishing, Borin kind of walks in and hands a few things to Lorelai, and then walks back out. She looks over to you, Gree. I had Borin retrieve this today, as per our little agreement. She hands you a small vial of this, like, purplish liquid that kind of has, like, weird reddish pink streaks kind of swirling in it.
I'll taste it.
It doesn't taste good. It makes your tongue numb immediately.
I mean, the poison though.
Still makes your tongue numb.
Okay. What is it?
It is the poison from the very, very large scorpions, not the ones in the vineyard, the one in over near the hills, the ones that are like the size of the table.
This tape.
It's a very
those-
large table, yes.
Jesus.
They're not too common recently, but they were. But that is the venom from their stinger.
I thought you said poison.
I know what I said. It does an extra 3d6 poison damage if you apply it to your weapon.
Okay.
It's one use, though.
Yeah, I know. It's all of it is one use. All of there's like a 2,000 gold one that does like 8d6 and it's one use.
Yeah.
That's still 8d6 damage.
I know.
On top of your weapon damage, usually.
Yeah.
And if you crit with it. But Lorelai
Thank you.
also hands 2 outfits to Aesop and Isabel. Very, very nice outfits that kind of resemble most of the other clothing around here. And they go change and wash as Albrecht finishes his meal and stands from the table. Well, if we're heading to Pont-de-Lis, I'm happy to join you, but first I have a bit of shopping I'm going to do. And he
Does he hold out his hand
No.
looking for money?
No, he walks out.
I look over to Bree or Roger and I say, one of you guys follow him.
I got.
Oh, I'll do it.
I got it. You float. You stay here. You guard the.
No.
You're already doing that. I got it. I'm faster than you. I can teleport.
No,
I
you're
got.
not. I can teleport too.
Mark is already
do it.
behind him.
I mean, I already said I got it. Don't worry, Roger. I got this.
Please roll a natural one.
Make a stealth check to not be noticed, for one.
Please, God, if there is a God, let it be.
Are you talking? Oh, are you not going? Okay. I'll cast Pass Without a Trace on myself.
Okay.
28.
There is no God.
Damn,
You manage
22.
to sneak around fairly
You
easily
didn't cast that?
in the early
Damn.
morning. He rolled well. You managed to sneak around early morning, just between the shadows
didn't
of the buildings.
Ignore that.
He finds you between the shadows of buildings and awnings. You just follow him, going about the day.
Anytime I'm in a shadow, I can just be like completely
Yeah,
invisible.
no.
Okay.
You see him enter a like food store, and he comes out with a small bag of food and a few bottles of wine. He goes into a clothing store. And he comes out in a very nice pair of, or a nice outfit that's similar to his one he was wearing before. Buys a large like metal case. It looks kind of like a weapon case, and he stows that. Eventually, he goes into Audrey's magic shop that you had been to previously, and he comes out with a looks like a scroll of some sort, but it's like more cloth than paper.
It doesn't look like a spell scroll, does it?
No, and it has like a wax seal at the front. He rolls it up and puts it away.
Did I recognize the seal? Can I memorize the seal?
Make a perception check for one.
Perception check to see. Would
It's-
I have advantage because I'm invisible?
No, it's pretty bright out. You can't really see it. It's what little bit you see of the scroll and the seal. It looks somewhat religious.
Okay.
You can tell religious banners usually have the same kind of motif, but you can't tell what
Right.
god it's for. And
That's
he
fine.
walks around the town for a bit, walks to the coast and the docks, breathes in some air, and then starts walking back to the house. This takes about an hour and a half.
I'll recast Pass Without a Trace so he doesn't notice me.
Make another stealth check.
31.
31.
Boy, he had advantage.
I know, right?
I don't like how you said that. I don't like how you said
He doesn't have advantage. But he walks back up to the house, puts the things away, and then walks in. You follow behind him. Or you make your way into the house some way, I assume.
Yeah. I'll, like, run up the walls.
Into the
Go
window.
on.
During that time, Alec would have bathed himself and just got himself ready for the drive.
Day.
I figured. Lorelai talked to, or was just chatting with Aesop and Isabel for a while, showing them around the house. But eventually she comes up to you while Boren leads them somewhere. You mentioned you're going to Ponzali.
Yes, we have to go fix whatever's wrong with this Albrecht.
Alright, are you taking the kids, or are you leaving them here?
What?
I don't know. What do you think?
If-
Is she having this conversation like at the dinner table
No,
or whatever?
she's
or, like,
away
Just
with
having it
Alaric.
yeah.
In the bath.
She kind of looks down a bit. If they're your family, then my family as well. I have no issue with them staying. I know what you and your friends and Albrecht do is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And I
What
don't
do you think I should do?
I don't have kids. I'm not sure what you should do. I especially don't have kids who I've just met.
This is quite a change of pace.
Yes, they could stay here and get a lay of the land, understand the culture. If they're going to be living here in this city, for one, in this country, for two, they should probably get to know it a bit better. Maybe they'll open up a bit. Maybe they'll meet some people of their own age who aren't
Maybe.
mercenaries and have weird pulling powers.
Maybe, but listen.
Glisten.
The girl has training. She knows how to kill things. She's got a magic dagger from some religious group, and frankly, I don't trust any religious group out there. So, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna be straight with you. Get protection for you and for them.
I don't think
'Cause
she could kill me.
I don't think she could either, but I don't like the idea of coming back to another mess. The kid, the little one, he should be fine, but her,
They both seem nice. They seem well mannered. They seem like good people. I led them
Well,
around the
considered a
house, and
few.
they were speaking to me. The boy Aesop, he was very jovial. The girl, she was a bit quieter, but she opened up eventually.
like I said, consider a feeling. You can listen to it, you can not listen to it, but
I could look
I
into
don't know.
the
there's
religious group you
something.
mentioned if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. But I don't know. There's just something off about this whole situation. So just be careful.
There's something off about our entire family, to be frank.
Yeah. Well, times are changing, but I've got to get going. Be safe.
She reaches her hand out to shake it.
And I just hug her. I just get her into a big old bear hug.
She
Lift her into the air.
hesitantly hugs you back at first, but eventually embraces you.
I put her back down. I say again, be safe. I'll be back soon. Shouldn't be too long.
She nods. I've borne. Keep the rooms clean.
All right. I just kind of turn around, wave my goodbye, and walk back to the rest of the group and I say, all right, guys, we got work to do. Albrecht, you ready?
As Albrecht's like stepping in with a few bags, let me put this stuff away and I'll be ready.
All right.
Walks upstairs. Eventually, he comes back down. You see him hand something to Isabel, who is with Boren. Then he walks back up to you guys.
Is it the thing? Is it the scroll?
It is not the scroll.
Okay.
All right, fellas, get the carriage. Let's get going.
Hold on. I needed to talk to your sister for a second. If that's okay. It's not about anything. I'll whisper into Alaric's mind. I'll explain what I saw with what's his butt, like going around town, and that he got a scroll of some kind. And I wanted to ask your sister, if she recognized which scroll it was, based on the limited description I could give. Like what religious order?
All right, go ahead.
I do that.
All right.
I'll ask to speak with her like away from.
You just like you just like snake your head into the office.
As he's walking away, I go back at him. I say, please behave.
I mean, I don't know what you think I'd do.
Sinks through the
I
floor.
respect you. I respect you. I respect your sister.
Don't lie to me. Just go take care of it.
All right, I'll try and like talk to her in another.
She's in her office, so you kind of.
Okay.
Do you knock or you do slide through the crack of the door?
I'll knock.
Okay. A few seconds pass and it opens, and she's looking like up, expecting to see Alaric, Roger, or Mark, and then she has to adjust her head a bit. She's taller than you.
Oh yeah, everyone is.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello, Mr. Gree.
Yeah. Just Gree is fine.
Right.
Right. I'll cast Minor Illusion to create the bit of the scroll that I saw. Do you recognize what this is?
Kind of looks at it. I'll make a check for her.
No.
I'm afraid it looks like a blurry little illusion of a scroll. It looks like a wax seal. It's probably religious.
But not any specific religion. Okay. Like not say the demon religion of the one, the devil guy with. Yeah.
No. Black.
No.
If a religious symbol is black, especially being sold in this country, worship of Uthon is illegal. If it's black, I would assume maybe Asia. I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I really wanted to ask. And also just a thank you for the poison. It's going to be very helpful. I'll save your brother with it. Don't you worry. And then I just walk away.
Before she even gets anything out, it's like a bit of a sigh escapes, and you just shut the door.
Yeah.
And you walk back.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're ready to get rolling.
I agree. Make a religion check.
They can make a religion out of it.
It would take about 6.5 hours to get them on the lane. Just
You've heard the name Aja once or twice now. You've seen it in a list of the gods, but you're not exactly sure what domain that one has.
Okay.
But it is.
Hey, Mark.
Spelled like that.
Hey, Mark, do you know who Asia is?
I mean, I've heard of the continent, but
Mark, you take
Not
11
Asia.
psychic damage.
Not Asia. Asia.
Just to let you know, we're all in the carriage right now, right?
Yeah.
All
well,
right.
you can
I'll
do.
whisper
Yeah.
it.
Are you saying that in out loud or in his head? I just want to make sure here real quick.
In his head. It's always in his head. I'm not real.
Okay,
The car
I'm-
crash wasn't your fault.
am I doing a religion check?
Yep.
Ooh, I know. Name of religion.
Religion in Ilos is usually only for Circe. You don't really know about too many of the gods, besides the overarching ones. You don't know about the lesser known ones. You remember them telling you Circe is really good. Don't listen to anyone else.
That's a no.
It's a no.
Well,
What?
Mark, what's your answer?
I just shrug. I mean,
Okay.
All right, you guys hop in the carriage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Specify short rest to recover my key points for one thing, and to
It's a
to
6-hour
attune to the
ride.
light-
It's a short
Yeah.
rest. All right.
to attune to the lightning crossbow, so that I have that instead of the cloak of disease.
About 6 hours pass. Jeeves kind of turns his head around through the little hole. I see we have company. Is he joining you?
Yeah, he
Albrecht is just like staring at him, a bit bewildered. I'm Jeeves, sir. And he just kind of nods.
Does he take off his head?
No, he
bow?
takes the hat off. We're heading to Ponzali, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
That's quite a large city. Anywhere specific in Ponzali, or just the square?
College,
College, right.
or like outside the college.
I can't go indoors, so yes.
Yeah.
And closes it.
It's very convenient
Wow,
that he can't
Jeeves,
go
so
indoors.
catty.
He jumps off the carriage.
If you can't go indoors, can he go in windows?
You can
If you
spawn
can't
him
go
indoors.
indoors,
You can't go.
It's very convenient that he can't go into buildings.
Well, I mean, it's in the item description. But 6
Okay.
hours pass of you guys' cramped leg room as Roger and Mark take up all of it. But the carriage stretches infinitely and then appears in Ponzali. As you step out, you see this almost metropolis of very, very tall stone and metal buildings. People bustling around, large humanoid constructs walking around. With like lights on their head, some red, some blue, some flashing, and above you see this large snaking pathway.
Guys, it's the police! Run!
It is, but you see this large snaking pathway, and eventually you see this small tube of metal with glass around it, kind of streak past connected to it, with a
That's-
loud whirring.
I like this place. I like this place already. I lean into like the little toy soldier I have and say, "You're gonna be like one of those guys one day."
He looks over, looks back at you, and like a really like triumphant nod.
He's so cute. I love him. I need a name.
call him Robert.
I'll figure that out. Anyway, I guess we
Braxton
walk
was
up to the
diagnosed with
college.
choroid plexus
What the-
carcinoma in
What the
brain.
fuck? Hold on. What the fuck was that?
Why the? Okay.
I have no
What?
idea.
What happened?
I
Oh, the-
added a thing in exploit and opened an ad on YouTube.
You're getting a notification on YouTube.
Probably. That was odd. Anyway, you are now standing in Ponzali, the very tall building surrounding you. As you turn, you see this immaculate structure of several spires and round domes of glass, all different colors just hanging over, and large banners draped across the front that have some sort of very elaborate, ornate golden symbol etched in red cloth.
His name is Zax.
You've spent 10 minutes naming him.
Yes.
Alright. But,
And we walk up.
alright.
To...
You
All right. Well, it's
Step
your
up.
sister, so you lead the way.
Well, isn't Vidastus supposed to be here? His name will probably get us in quicker.
That might.
as you step up, there appears to be no one at the gate. The doors are open slightly.
I'll push them open.
As you reach your hands out to touch them, they hit something that's not there, like a mime wall, and your hands like
Ah,
bounce back,
okay.
and you hear an echoing voice coming from all around you. State your business and your
Oh.
names.
I'm Roger. We're here to see Vidastus.
You know Vidastus?
Yeah, we're kind of working with him for the whole, the shit show.
Let me confirm with him. Give me a moment.
Thank you.
About 2 minutes later, the
I
voice.
don't know what else to call it. Like, is a shit show a bad term to use?
I mean, it's a shit show. I
Yeah.
guess it's not the most polite term to use.
Demon?
I'd call it a mistake.
I think mistake is too much, like, less of a term.
No,
it doesn't
no, no.
fit the
I
situation.
agree. Yeah, not mistake. I guess a fuck up.
Yeah,
No,
fuck
it's got-
up. It seems
shit
ruder
shows
than
it.
shit show.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
shit show. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on like your personal viewpoint.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Whoa,
the door is talking.
What are you guys talking about?
Just we're
fuck
talking
up?
about like the
No, I know
shit
Demon.
show,
this is
the name
this is
of
Albert
this.
asking.
We're talking about
uh,
the demon.
We released a demon that's trying to release other demons. It's kind of bad.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know, everybody tells us that. Do you think there's some kind of like?
I think like the name we chose for this group is quite fitting. I have to say,
What's the name?
misfits.
I just heard Alaric and a few giants were rolling around.
Well, there's only two giants.
I mean, he's
Well,
giant
yes,
in another way.
few.
Because smirk
Yeah, he
across his
is.
face.
He is pretty giant.
Fair enough. That's a nice.
But
one.
the voice kind of buzzes in, humming the metal framework of the building a bit. He has confirmed that you are the misfits. Please
Eh?
make yourself at home. And you see like the doors kind of swing open a bit more, and like the air kind of pushes and shoves a bit, and you kind of move your hand through.
Thank you. Do you know where Maribel is?
First name, last name.
Maribel Fenwick.
She is most likely in her studies currently.
Where are those?
Please do not interrupt the class.
Okay.
You can,
I'll just
you can
walk in.
wait, and you walk in, and it is just an elaborate, just overly ornate and ostentatious marble walkway, red, like draping silks from the rafters, lots of art and like artifacts just like lining podiums and stands leading up into this very large library that circles all the way up to the very tall, about almost 350 feet tall library that leads up into the stained glass dome at the top, and it just like corkscrews with these long ladders to get books and people
This place
moving in
is
and
so
out.
pretentious. What does my sister see in this place?
Probably the magic.
Yeah.
You notice all the light sources are just these floating balls of different colored lights that make the room a very pleasant, kind of cool color.
Well, I guess we better go see Vidasnus.
Yeah,
As you're
let's go
stepping
talk to
forward, in the center of the library, a bit of like spark of light kind of appears for a moment, and then just streaks down from the top, and you see Vidastus kind of like wave in his hand in front of his face and cough a bit. I have visitors.
Yes. We're here. Hello.
I'm glad you made it. Who's that one? As he points to Albrecht.
Well, this one seems to be my old teacher, who apparently has managed to get himself cursed because everybody associated with us is either stupid or half dead.
Sounds about
You're
right.
the exception.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But we do have a couple of things to tell you. This curse may actually be related to everything. It came from the Shadowfell.
Shadowfell. Related to the situation at hand?
Might be.
How long
Everything's
has this
really,
curse
tied together lately.
It isn't. The Shadowfell is a lot different than the Abyss and the Hells.
Hmm.
Shadowfell is more of a reflection of our world. A very tainted one.
Huh. Well, I was hoping that we could just take care of this little curse of his real quick, but we also ran into a giant demigod baby recently.
You ran into what?
A giant demigod baby
It
that was
kind of-
covered in green and orange slime. I apologize.
It kind of fucked with gravity a little bit, if that sounds familiar.
It could be telekinesis.
Looked
Controlled
kinda like-
minds.
Did you get anything out of this?
Actually, yes.
The
Mark.
brain.
Yeah.
Dad, don't take it out right now. Let's go back up. And he kind of gestures for you all to join him.
I guess I joined him.
Yep.
Everyone take each other's hands and grabs whoever's close to him.
Me.
Green pushes his way to the front.
dreamily staring at him. But he takes the people next to him's hands. Everyone takes each other's, and you just see this flash of blue light.
Oh,
And-
Mark,
And
your grip so strong.
and cold.
I'm
Your hands
not.
so soft.
I'm not holding grease hand.
And the scene in front of you shifts to this very, very cozy, differently colored, almost orange, almost like wooden cabin area. Looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere in a cold environment, even though it's in a very hot environment. And you see just rustic furniture out and about, and a lot of books and shelves everywhere. And you see this cloaked figure, robed figure is a better term. Golden and red silks with a bit of white kind of draped across and over the top. It's almost like a Pope outfit, but a little thinner. Black curly hair that goes back into a bun, and this kind of long goatee that kind of curls into a handlebar mustache. He turns to look at you, and you notice one of his arms is seemingly missing, but in its place there is this like liquid metal that is moving similar to an arm. Everyone, this is Archmagister Drysis.
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A bit of a bow.
Hi.
I've heard much about you.
I
As he
curtsy.
gestures to all of you. You're the misfits, correct?
Yep.
You're the reason, one of the reasons we're working together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can say that.
It was all his fault, and I point at the at Roger's
Actually,
miniature thing.
ultimately,
It like
it-
1920s like pulls its arms out and like threatening you.
Zax
In a
didn't do
circle.
nothing. He was a good boy.
ultimately,
Named
Ultimately.
Zax.
it's your fault, Gree. It was
I don't
your
know
ooze.
what
It
you're
was
talking
your
about.
ooze
Huh?
sire that you brought us to.
My what?
Guys,
I don't know what that is. I'm
please.
not.
Let's just
think I got
calm
enough of
down a
my
Let's
minute.
not do this at the moment. We can do this in the cart.
Yeah, I don't know why you're trying to start an argument right now. It's kind of rude, honestly. Being a little rude,
So-
Mark.
Anyway, you were
Frog's
saying,
gone.
Archmagister.
Frog's gone. He went to go deal with what the thing is. Yeah, so Mark, why are you trying to start a fight in the middle of this important conversation?
I'm back.
That's right, Mark. That's right.
So,
Yes.
Mr. Archmagister, sir,
Yes.
what's your plan basically for us?
Vedastus and I and my associates have been doing a lot of research. A lot of research. Your friend Polybius, who is currently taking a class right now, has been very helpful. He needs to unwind, though. Currently, we have a bit of a plan. We're going to need a few things to stop Tabernax.
Alright, well, we're good at getting things.
You say that.
That's what she said.
We're going to need the rites of banishment, for one.
Uh,
We know exactly where those are. However, they're not
Oh.
going to be enjoyable to get.
Mhm.
And Vedastus cannot go get them.
why?
Mhm.
Vedastus, why don't you
What?
explain? Vedastus kind of like is rubbing his temples just at the mention.
Oh,
Well,
see here.
yeah, he's here.
I would ask.
Well, I was taught everything I know about magic by an old master from this school named Eluus. And he has a tower close by, and he will not let me in it. Because he said I'm not allowed back in until I can build my own. He's he's gone a bit in the head over the years.
I mean, it's
Like-
no offense, but that's kind of funny.
It is.
Like how far gone in the head?
He's not crazy, but he's very
Central.
eccentric. Yes, like you guys.
So he's like
I'm
that
oh,
Dwemer guy
well.
from Skyrim. Okay.
Oh.
Skyrim equals 11 psychic damage to you, Lord.
I'll take it. Halved.
because it's the 11th Elder Scrolls game.
No.
I got you.
So, where do we need to go for the rites of banishment?
Eluus's tower
His
is
tower.
he kind of like looks over and just opens a window, and he points out at the ocean. Right over there.
That's an ocean.
I know.
Where would it be? In like,
If you call for him, it will appear, and he will let
I
you
call
in.
for him.
You can't. You have to be on the coast.
Ah, that's okay. Okay, I understand.
I think I get why all this bad shit keeps happening to us, and I don't want to say it out loud, but I think I think you can all guess what I mean. I just look over.
yeah. Like we shoot looks at each other. Me, Mark, and Alaric, and we're all like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Eluis,
he said call out to him, so
Eluis is
you guys
possibly.
just never take anything literally. You always have to talk in metaphors.
Eluis is possibly one of the strongest mortals alive. But
What if
like
he's
I
not
said,
mortal anymore? What if he's a lich?
Could
You never know.
Could be a possibility, but he doesn't need souls, so I don't think it is. He's very powerful, but he's, like you mentioned, eccentric. He refuses to leave the tower. Refuses to let most people in.
I look at Roger.
I'm
Don't look at me.
not sure if he'll let you in, but we need the rights of banishment, and he has them.
All right, so
Alright.
that's
So
the
Alaric's
easiest
gonna
thing
recruit
so
him.
far. What about the second thing?
Well, we don't know exactly where they are, but we know what plane they're on. It's
That's
the chains of Styx.
That sticks with an X.
Styx with a YX. We
clever.
believe they're in the possession of a man, you could say, named Kazgalin.
Who's Castellan?
Have you ever heard of a Baelor?
No.
I don't think I have.
They're
No.
very large, powerful demons from the Nine Hells, and they rule over small portions of land there. His happens to be most of the land on the eastern side.
He's
So-
one of these demons.
He is a demon. He is not evil. He's not working for Tagranex. He
So,
is
let
not
me
a
just-
fiend.
Let me just put this into perspective real quick. You want us, the four misfits who accidentally released a demon, to go talk to a potentially insane
You
mage in the
released
middle of the
a
ocean
fiend, not a demon. They're different.
to go talk to a crazy wizard in the middle of the ocean
Well, he won't let
to
me
get
in.
the rights of banishment because you didn't build your tower,
I cannot
and then
build a tower like
afterward-
his. I am not allowed in. Like I said,
and then
very simple.
afterward we plane shift to go talk to a demon with the most land apparently in hell.
That is the plan.
In a
yes.
specific circle of hell, not like I'm pretty sure like lower levels
There's
have bigger
layers.
demons.
It's like an onion.
I watched a video about it earlier today. Literally.
We need the rights of banishment to banish Tagranex, or at least keep him down, and the chains of Styx can help keep him from moving ever again.
Have you tried casting the banishment spell? Just
I don't
the
think
third
that'll work.
level spell.
We've already
that-
been over
I
this.
don't think that will work.
We've already been over why that is a bad idea.
It's not really
But-
bad idea. Yeah, I don't agree.
Okay. Alright, just wanted to put that into perspective real quick
What
because
plane is
I
it?
The Eternal Plane of Fire.
Oh, that one.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll.
like-
It's a
that'll
lovely
okay.
vacation place, I have to say.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again? What?
Eternal Plane
Who?
of Fire.
Who is
Kazgalin.
The demon?
Chains of Styx.
the demon?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought he was in the Nine Hells.
Jesus
he
Christ.
is.
A part of the Nine Hells.
You just said he was on the plane of fire.
God.
Oh my fucking god! It's like Jesus
Imagine
The
discs.
plane of fire and the plane. Those are two very different things.
Imagine
Christ. In
discs.
base book, maybe.
Each
in-
one is different, Kree.
Okay.
Okay, what's the third thing?
The third
You
thing,
don't want Frog to explain his lore.
The third thing is
Okay.
nothing. We need those two, and we have a team. Dolgus, your dwarf friend, is building astralium. I don't know the word. Spikes to go in the harness that Polybius is gathering people to help build, made of blackstone, a sarcophagus of sort.
Wouldn't the Australia wouldn't interfere with the chains?
No. If he can put it on the lining of the blackstone, it would keep him from teleporting out, the chains of sticks will keep him from moving normally, and the rites of banishment will lock him away in a demiplane of sorts.
Right.
Well,
And
Do we know?
you mentioned something that you found from a fetal god. I'd like to see that. That could
Mark.
be useful.
Yes. I pulled the amber skull.
It's an amber mine, but whatever.
Okay, my bad. Brain.
He takes it. Drysis also comes up and examines it. If you'll,
I'd like the back, please.
yeah, you can have it back. But first, we're going to examine it, study it. What have you gleaned from it?
Well, I said I was gonna research it, but then Frog didn't actually tell me what it did or anything. So
Who's Frog?
the person in my head.
Do all of you have someone in your head?
Not
Anyways.
anymore.
Anyways, Frog, what would me have?
What would me have learned?
I am smart. Give brain.
Like I mentioned before, it can change gravity, turn off people's minds, and control them.
Yeah, okay. I'll say that.
Okay.
I mean,
It's not a lot of information, but we'll examine it if you will allow us to look after it for at least a day.
go ahead.
All right. Now
I mean, I could attempt to help you guys look at it,
you
but
can. But furthermore, we also know of the location of one object, which is the antithesis of what we're trying to achieve: the barbed heart. It's an artifact Uthon made, basically turning a mortal into another Black Hand of sorts. We know where it is, but we are not exactly sure how to get to
Oh
it.
God, we're gonna seal it. Jake's old character, aren't we?
who's
Hmm?
Jake?
Who's Jake?
Who's Jake?
Who is Jake? Who is Frog?
Roger.
Who's this important man? Go on.
So we need to destroy the barbed heart, or
Don't
at least get it in our possession.
Contain it, or allow the college to contain it. They're quite good at that.
Right.
But as long as no nefarious individuals get their hands on it, it should be fine.
Now let's assume someone gets their hand on it.
That is not good. Then we have Tagranax and baby Tagranax to worry about.
Do we know where Taganax is?
And what about the barbed heart? You said you had an idea of the location.
It is on Celestial Island, which is north of Ur, of the Holy Gomorran Empire.
Alright.
Supposedly locked away in the artificial mountain that is built there. It's been unseen for centuries.
Well,
However, I have a feeling
we'll
that's
take
about to
care
change.
of the wizard, then the
And
barbed
then the
heart.
chain.
No, we'll do the wizard, the barbed heart, then the chain last, because that's a whole other plane we have to go to.
Fair enough.
I believe this, what do you call it, Amber Skull, Amber Mind, could be of use. Could help strengthen the effects of the other items, possibly. But I think we have a pretty solid plan, currently. The only
Right.
issue is that we all might die.
I've made my peace, but speaking of die, I turn around to Albrecht and I say, Albrecht, get up here.
Coughs up blood. Walks up.
Explain your situation and see what they can do.
He explains the portal situation. Vidacis and Drysis both stroking their beards in tandem. Shadowfell, curse, soul. Nothing's ringing a bell, but
Well,
there's a lot of
apparently
information here.
Gree here almost yanked the thing out.
And how did you do this, Gree?
I got powers.
Right.
Gree, please
Gree,
actually explain it.
answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we supposed to explain stuff? No thanks.
Okay, I'll. The thing that we got from the demon thing.
Right.
If it was-
Right. So we fought. We were in one of the ruins where we found the Gray Man, and
The
there was
ephemerals.
this poison demon disease thing. We fought it. We got that off of. We got
we got
what he
we got a
used
mantle.
off of its body, and
Yeah.
that mantle can apparently be used to cure diseases.
Yes.
That's quite beneficial for a demon artifact.
Yeah, seems that way.
But if that was almost able to remove it, that could be of use to actually remove it. But I'm unsure if it's a disease. Sounds more like a curse, a stain. Have any of you heard of blood magic? Like having magic in your blood? Not blood magic,
Yes.
but
Well,
I think this might be something similar.
sorcerers have blood
Yeah,
magic, correct?
I don't know
Yeah.
about
Yes.
like sorcerers and stuff.
Similar to that. I have a feeling this may be somewhat similar. I know there are people who gain their magical abilities through other planes. This could be a case like that, but it could also be a terrible disease. We'll have to look into it.
Well, I reckon you should hold on to him then while we're gone. Although I would like to have a small word with Vedastus real quick. Just away from everybody, just a moment.
All right, and he grabs your shoulder, and you see a flash of light, and you're in another room. It's empty. Yeah.
So that guy, don't trust him, not at all. He's the guy who taught me everything I knew. Number one. Number two, he's a total bastard and a killer, through and through. So I recommend wiping his mind of anything that we said in that room for the last hour.
That can be done.
All right, just making sure because I don't trust him, and I've known him most of my childhood.
You don't trust your former master?
God no.
I don't really trust mine either. So we have that in common.
Yeah, it's good to have something in common. Besides that, so it turns out I had a daughter. She manifested a knife using light magic. Looked like. Any idea what that could be?
Sounds like clerical magic. Did you
Alright.
happen to catch any holy symbols?
I didn't see any holy symbols, but you have a list I could look at, something that I could just reference back to, just in case.
Grab your shoulder again. You're back in the library. If you have any questions, most of the information is here. Just ask
Alright, yeah,
anyone to
so-
get a book, and they'll probably get it.
All right, so yeah, that's what I do. I just kind of go try and grab a book on holy symbols,
Alright.
banned and unbanned.
I'm getting another phone call.
All right, that's Vedastus getting a phone call.
Hello? Who is this? It's your boy, Vedastus.
Now, I guarantee there will be a loud knock at my door in 5 seconds. But anyway, do you go back into the room with the others, or do you go look for the book now?
I'll look for the book now.
Okay. But Astus flashes away and back into the room.
Archmage, do you know where Maribel Fenwick is? What classroom she's in?
She's probably in one of the studies right now. You could probably wait about, and he looks at his wrist,
I won't interrupt. I just
about 10
I'll
more
wait
minutes. He
Thank you.
just tells you one of the room numbers.
Vedastus, could you
Yeah. And he grabs you. Anywhere else you guys like to go? As he looks to Gree and Mark. There's a lot of floors here.
Yeah.
Is there like a research section of the college? Like,
Yes. And he grabs all of you and you flash. Roger, you're now in a hallway as the rest of them flash away. Mark, you appear in the library. You see Alaric just walking away and just turn over to see you guys there. Gree, are you doing research or do you have other matters to attend to?
No, I'm looking for an artifact you guys have.
You have to talk to the Archmagister about that. I'll take you back to him. Flashback. Gree, you appear in the chamber again as Drysis. You see the amber mine just floating in the air as he's examining it.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know about the beholder bits? That artifact?
The beholder bits.
Yeah.
Could you be a bit more specific?
One's a tongue, one's an eye stalk. There's a third one.
Oh, the gibbering bits.
Yeah.
I know of them. Yes. Why?
You guys have one a piece.
We might.
I'd like to buy it or borrow it.
What for?
Fighting purpose.
This artifact you speak of, if brought back together, isn't a very pleasant one. Are you...
Is it worse than a demon?
No, but I'm not sure if it should be in your hands. I know you're helping fight this threat, but that is preservation of self, and I'm not sure if I can trust you with such a powerful magical item.
But that's, vouch us as a group.
That is true, but Vedastus also vouches for his old teacher, who has caused lots of problems in my time.
I mean, okay. Sorry. What can I do to prove my ness?
Why do you require the piece we might have? Specifically that one.
Because I know where the other two are already. I can go get them at any time.
You know where they are. Make a deception check.
Yeah.
Well, no, you know where they are. You're not lying.
I know where they are.
Yeah.
I said that.
Well, he said he can go and get them at any time, so...
He can. He can
Yeah,
go in
I
his
can do that
pockets.
also. It's in my pocket.
You know where the other pieces are. The head and the tongue.
Of course.
This guy could very easily cast detect magic and be like, ah, yes, they're in the
It's in the bag
that
of
would not
holding.
work out.
Or, like, locate
no,
object.
No.
Gree's entire
It
body would
wouldn't
glow,
Because I am covered in magical items.
and he is a
Locate
magical item,
object.
basically.
locate object.
Kind of looks you
You
over.
You would have to specify the head, which is not the same thing as the other two.
Do you have the other pieces, or do you simply know where they are?
I have one of them.
You're still not lying. Right.
No.
No, he
there's
has
an
one
implied,
of them.
There's an implied lie there.
But he does have
Yeah,
one of them.
implied
And he's
lie.
also
You-
Gree, so Gree doesn't even know if he's lying.
Do you want me to make a deception check?
I mean, you
Vesper?
can.
I mean, there you go.
He has
You-
two, he has two of them.
They're fused together right now, so technically they're one.
Oh my god, frog!
I mean, that's
Fuck.
literally what they are right now. And you require the other piece to make it whole again, to find all three
Yeah.
of them and make it whole.
No, he's only finding two. You're lying.
What?
Because you already have one. Because you made two one. So you're finding two.
I don't know what you're saying, Vesper. You're
One,
cutting out,
two,
Vesper.
three,
You're going through a tunnel.
3, 2, 1.
Anyway.
1, 2, 2, 3.
Okay. Thank you, Vesper.
So you intend to bring them all together and bring them back here, or use it for your own purposes?
Use it to fight demon.
And then what do you do
Tagarnax.
with it? If you should survive.
Depends on what happens when it's all together. If it's an evil thingy, I will just try and separate it. If that doesn't work, I'll just destroy it. Or like send it to another plane, like the astral plane, probably.
Make a persuasion check.
14. Big 14.
Wisdom
Big
check.
14 energy.
Jesus Christ.
He's one of the most powerful wizards, and he has a +4.
It's a wisdom.
To charisma, yeah. Oh, was that wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh.
You
One
should
of the most powerful wizards, and he has a +4.
That's an 8. That's an
to
18.
wisdom? To wisdom?
Wizards are intelligence-based casters.
But he's... Jesus
Frog.
Christ.
Frog, I'm just saying, I have a +3 to wisdom, so this guy's barely wiser than I am.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's just a
And he
human.
was locked on an island his entire fucking life.
You guys are kind of mad. Why you got so mad?
Gree, was it?
Yeah.
It's it kind of makes sense. This guy's giving Gree like one of the most powerful items in the game, and he's got shit for wisdom. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
We have the eye stalk.
Oh. Right.
I will loan it to you. However, it will be returned to me upon the locking away of Tagarnax or your death, whichever comes first.
Okay. That sounds fair. Would you like a magically binding contract?
Seem like
I know those exist.
Basically-
I'm in one.
he's like basically just chewing his cud right now. You know what? Yes, I would. Give me a moment to
Okay.
write it up. And you flash away, and you're in the library.
It's like that scene in Thor Ragnarok where he keeps teleporting him everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually look in the library. I'm gonna look around to see if I can find a book on the gibbering bits to see like what makes.
All right. Make an investigation check. Alaric, you also make one if you're researching. Mark, what are you
Alright.
doing?
Well, I mean, I guess just asking for like religious symbols wouldn't really necessitate an investigation check.
Well, you got to read the book. And you're not that good at reading.
I'm just trying
I'm
to.
looking for a picture book, Frog.
I know.
Bro, I'm just trying to learn new stuff. Like,
There's a natural 20 for you.
You have disadvantage because I don't like you. I don't like that attitude.
Should like your tune, mister.
But Mark, you just get a handful of books to read through.
well then, should
Uh,
I make any check to see what I learn, or do that later?
if you want anything specific, yeah. If you're not, you're just getting information.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything specific. I'm just trying to learn, like, if I can find like spell books.
With spells for you to transcribe,
Yeah.
you don't find any of those.
Not even anything like on like.
They don't give them out.
Yeah,
You could
but, like,
tell.
okay, yeah, but I could find an area to pay for them. Like a gift shop.
Take your mage hand scroll all the way out.
you go to the gift shop. But Alaric, you're given a book of religious symbols and iconography, and you trace your mind to remember what the necklace Isabel was wearing looked like. And eventually, after scrounging through a very, very long, almost tediously boring book, you find a very similar
oh my
symbol.
god, I fucking hate nerds!
I hate reading. You find a
Nerds!
very similar symbol, black iron, almost like a sideways U that curves out at the end, and an arrow through the side.
Is that the one from the cloth
The what?
scroll that he had? That Alaric's.
He doesn't know what it looks like. You do.
Oh, okay.
But Alaric, it is the symbol of Aja, which is the goddess of luck and gambling.
Alright.
The base history of Aja is a very, very weak god, slowly rose to prominence as society became more and more economically inclined, and gambling became very prominent. And worshippers of her are usually pretty lucky, especially her more favored ones. And you know, divination wizards, a lot of them, the ones who are religious, would usually follow her because luck and future sight go well together.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I will ask if I can take the book with me.
You speak to one of the officials, and you ask to take the book. Like,
Yeah, I
to
just kinda
own it,
walk up,
to own it, or to like borrow it for a moment.
To borrow it. I kind of walk up and I've got like my t-shirt on that says Chad on the side, and I
You're like walking
Say
like with a
sup, bro.
like with a big cowboy strut.
You have
Say,
the
"Sup, bro?
you're
Trying
the
to- trying
guy-
to take this book with me, bro.
you're the guy who was like walking out of the library with a megaphone. It's like, stop reading books. This is a person for nerds.
You walk up to one of the officials with your spiky blonde hair and green pants.
My shining blue eyes. I got one arm in the air and the other arm twisted behind my spine.
How long do you intend to keep the book?
Well, it shouldn't be more than 2, maybe 3 weeks.
That is quite a long time. Just a moment. You see him kind of walk back into a small, like hovel, like a room. Looks like a checkout room. And you see him grab a few things of ink and a stamp, and he walks over to the book and stamps the front of it, and the ink starts to glow ever so slightly. That will be returned in 2 weeks. Use it how you will. Any damage will cost you.
So, does the stamp just return the book?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll take it back. You guys aren't nerds. Well,
See a small tear.
I
in his
walk
eye.
away.
Thank you.
I leave it at, well, and I just turn around and walk out.
Okay. Gree.
Looking for a way back to the rest of the group. Getting lost
Getting
behind
lost in
more
the fucking
books,
bookshelves.
Screaming, and someone tells me to quiet down. We're in a library.
Wait,
I don't care.
Gree.
I hope you fail.
You find a few old scrolls on the gibbering mouth, tongue, and eye stalk. and you learn that it once was a beholder that got separated by a group of magisters because they could not kill it, and it was turned into these pieces so they could harness its abilities in hopes to better their society, but was eventually split up because they could not decide who should own it.
It's gonna make a beholder, is what you're telling me.
No, it was a beholder, and then they split it into the pieces, into the main piece, and then split that into pieces among themselves.
Okay.
So they had
Okay.
they had a beholder, then they had a really strong item, then they had 3 kind of strong items.
Okay. Oh, because they couldn't. Okay, yeah, I got you.
And the one who had the gibbering mouth ball said he got the short end of the stick.
No shit.
You could say that. You could say that.
Uh,
Do they have names? These wizards?
They will after I open the generator.
You don't need to. You don't need to. Don't. See, we saw the skeleton of the guy who got the gibbering mouth ball, and his skeleton disappeared. Why would that happen? Is my question.
Well, we don't know if it
You're
was a
not.
skeleton.
You're not sure if that is the same person.
I'm assuming it is.
You're not sure why the skeleton would disappear and why the room would be ransacked.
It feels like something that didn't come up again.
It's almost like it was related to Gore, who is not here anymore.
Rest in peace. We hardly knew you.
He could
Rest
come
in,
back.
rest in whorehouse.
He could come back.
You're gonna level
You
him up
make
to
it-
level
yeah.
12.
He'll get tired of his whorehousing days.
Okay.
That is
He'll have
the
switched
that is the,
classes again.
that is the gist of the. He becomes a paladin. That is the gist of the information you gather.
Did Ford become a paladin?
Don't know.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, Mark. You're reading a lot of books. People are staring at you because you got weird bags under your eyes.
And you don't
Good for
breathe.
them.
Roger.
Yes.
About 8 minutes pass, and you're standing in the hallway. People are like passing by, looking at you. Everyone who passes by is in these long, fancy robes.
I'm just in
are
a
very
fucking
neat.
trench coat,
And you're just in a you're just hunched over in a trench coat,
leaning up against a wall, tapping my foot.
Yeah, I mean-
sunglasses on,
Are
spiked
the
shoulder
guard's gonna
pads.
like the guard's gonna like accost him because he looks like a suspicious character.
They know who he
School
is.
shooter.
But eventually,
He takes out his bow.
Run, baby, run, faster than my arrows.
Eventually, you hear a very shrill bell-like sound echo across the hallway, and the doors, like, vanish, and there's just infinite hallways, and you see people begin stepping out of them in droves. There's like 400 people stepping out into the hallway, and you tower
place
over
fucking sucks.
most of them. However, as they're all exiting, you do feel like a tug at your side. And as
look
the room
down.
clears out, and you see nothing.
Look down, and it's actually nobody there. It's this little gnome boy. He's like, "Excuse me, I have my next class in about 15
Could you tell me
minutes,
where
but
my
I'm,
next class is?
I throw him to
here,
the next
look
classroom.
here."
You fucking like you yeet him like a football.
Just javelin
Thank
chuck him
you.
across.
Thanks.
Is this the catapult spell?
You become the bully of the school. But you feel a tug at your side, and you look down, and there's nothing there as the hallway empties.
I float upwards in fear.
Like very quickly, you're like on the ceiling,
Yeah.
and you see Mirabelle kind of like apparate out of thin air. When did you learn to do that?
You learn some things, and I poof out a mage hand and go to shake her hand.
She like she can't. Wait, Mage Hand is invisible unless you're Arcane Trickster. She shakes the Mage Hand.
Quote, you learned some things.
You learn some things.
But
Meaning I got an item.
I'm really glad you're visiting.
Yeah. Hey,
could you
how are
come
you?
down? It's hurting my neck to stare up.
I go down.
And you
And I
plop down
I
on the
kneel.
ground. You see Mirabelle, her hair now in this tight braid, and her clothes is a lot more fancy. This white gown with these gold inlays on the sleeves, and a symbol with one notch on the like the lapel area.
How you doing? How are things at the college?
I'm doing fantastic. I've sped through most of my classes, and I'm on my way to be a novitiate.
That's great. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, I got a big dick.
Thanks again. Well, she knows
Ah.
She knows the size of the newborn's dick.
Step bro.
Stop.
that.
Anyway,
That's a callback.
she embraces you. What have you been doing?
Kind of fucked up. I'm gonna be real with you.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know if you probably don't know. They probably didn't tell you. We just kind of fucked up. Are people still like around?
People are like, there's very few people in the hallway now.
Okay, so basically, me and the boys kind of released a demon.
The Boys, the hit Amazon Prime TV show, sponsored by The Boys.
Fucking wish. Anyway,
We kind of did something really dumb, and we're trying to make it better. But I'm happy for you.
a bit of a puzzled
Yeah.
expression. Couldn't have been that bad. You're alive.
Maybe not for long, but that's not important right now. Have you kept in touch with the family?
I have. I've learned a lot. I can talk to people for pretty good distances.
It's good. Do you
But,
do you know of anything? Is anything going on over there?
At home? No, not
Yeah.
really. That weird senior boy you left to work in the fields. He's doing well.
Yeah, I heard he was watching Dad and Mom. But, it's just it's beyond me.
That goes out of you, Kiwi, our #1 fan.
We have so many #1 fans.
No, right?
I
But
just
nothing of note.
I just wanted to drop by and check on you, make sure you're doing okay.
Are you keeping in touch?
Yeah, I have ways of contacting.
Do you know sending, or how are you doing it? I'm curious.
I pull out the box. It's I can just pass little notes through
Roger.
here.
As you pull out the box, you notice a note sticking out of it.
Oh, how convenient to the plot of this story.
What is the first time
I
you
haven't
checked
exactly
it?
checked on the box in forever.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he would have, whatever. All right, yeah. I take the note and read it.
Are you still floating on the roof, by the way?
No,
the last note
okay.
you sent was something along the line, "We fucked up. I'm sorry."
Something
So
like that, yeah.
this note says, "What do you mean? I'm very concerned. Love, Mom."
I'll get back to them. Anyway, I'm talking to my fucking sister. I can't write a note.
Alaric has a heart attack.
This irresponsibility is just mind-boggling.
It's not like I can sit there and write a fucking note out to my parents.
Sends a note, hey, we fucked up, I'm sorry, and then never message back, never clarify. And it's been like, how long has it been? It's been a couple of days.
A week, maybe.
No, it's been longer than that, because that was when we released the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's been about
It's been almost
3
a
weeks.
month.
It's been about 3 weeks.
It's been... They haven't heard anything from you in a month.
Oh god. Alright. I'll get back to them in a minute.
10 minutes, 10 years pass.
Basically, I can send gold and notes through this, and I've been sending them money every once in a while.
Oh, that's good. Are they sending you anything?
No.
Look at the note.
Roger like looks down at the note. No, I just shouldn't put that one all the way in.
Yeah. Just correspondence, you know.
Right. I mean, I assume you're busy.
Yeah, been pretty busy lately. I say as memories of the dance flash. before
Memories
my eyes.
of the dance, the riding in a carriage for 14 days.
The sex.
No, that was me.
No, I did with no girl. Remember?
Gnomes aren't
speaking
people, so...
speaking of, do you know any place that sells like really good jewelry around here?
You're in the most advanced city in the world. I'm sure
Well,
they have a
yeah.
jewelers. You're in
I
the
meant
noble
like
district.
specifically.
I don't know any
Yeah.
specific stores. We don't leave the school much. The only time we really get to is on the expeditions.
Right. Thanks. So, like, what do they have you, like, what, you're being an initiate, what does that mean?
Well, I'm an initiate now. I'm going to be a novitiate soon, and I'll get the second notch as she points to the little badge, and I'll be going on an expedition with 2 other students and a small group of hired adventurers or guards.
Where are you going to?
The Judea Forest. It's the most basic expedition they have, but it's the first one I'll be able to go on without a headmaster or teacher.
Do you need anything? Money?
Well, not money.
Like, anything?
Um,
You don't? Or
mean,
you do?
they-
Wait, what did you say?
Does not need money. They take care of all of our expenses here.
It's good.
We leave for that in a few days, 2 or 3, and after that, I'll be a novitiate, and I won't have to sit in these classes anymore.
It's great. I reached into my pocket and I pulled out 2 shards of Ethereum. Do you think you could use this? And I showed it to her.
Is that... She kind of looks it over. I don't have alchemy class, but I think I know what this is. It's that, that weird rock that makes magic a bit better.
Yeah, I heard, maybe you could use it or something.
Don't know if they'd let us have it here, but if you're giving it, I will gladly take it.
I hand it to her.
She like looks around and like puts it in a bag on the side of the gown. If I get in trouble, I'll blame you.
Of course. And I expect nothing less.
She laughs a
I
bit.
give her one last hug and say, if you hear anything bad happening, can you get the family out? Like, do you have a
Bad
teleportation
happening
spell
there?
or something?
I'm close.
Anywhere. So you're about level 5.
About there.
Just, if you do hear of anything bad happening in the world, try and get them somewhere safe.
You're scaring me a bit.
It's a very intense situation. Just don't worry. It's gonna be okay.
It's hard not to. I mean, you.
Yeah.
You could
Sends a
trouble
letter
lot.
saying, "We fucked up. I'm sorry." Oh, I'm really worried. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just saying though, if like things get really bad, do you have a teleportation? I'm just saying the family may be in danger, but it's no big deal. It'll be all right. But seriously though, like on God.
I don't think anything bad is going to happen. That we can't stop.
I hope
But if
you're
it
right.
does, I just want you to be prepared.
Right. You have ruined my mood for my next class. But it's
Yeah.
really good to see you again. How are your friends doing? Are they here?
They give me a headache on an almost daily basis.
That's why you fit in.
But they're here. We're starting to get along a little bit better.
I don't believe
Is
you.
Alaric here, that handsome bastard?
Is Gree here, that handsome, dashing rogue?
I
I
cut her in half.
What about
I
what about
uninvisible.
Gore?
The fat lizard.
Anyway,
She never
She
met
didn't
him.
meet.
she
Yeah,
didn't
she
meet
didn't meet
Gore.
Gore.
She didn't meet Gore.
I'd switch by then. Yeah.
No, she's actually a regular at that whorehouse.
But
Under
anything
rage,
else?
under rage.
Loyal, Roger.
No. I'll just walk away, and then like when I'm alone, I'll just write out the note that I'll write out now.
What does the note say? Or what's the gist of it?
I'll tell you later. Just the gist of it is, I fell down the steps and broke my arm, and I sent that to.
You're not gonna tell your family.
Okay.
I'm not fucking telling my family released a fucking demon. Are you
Then
insane?
why'd you even send the first message?
Because of a
As
scared
you
drunk.
put it in and you breathe a heavy sigh and you go to put it away, you notice a note stick out the top immediately.
God damn it. I read it.
You had us worried sick. We have no idea where you've been. You have not contacted us. You have not sent any notes. What is going on? It couldn't have been your
I
arm.
think this is like the Harry Potter letter.
It
It
basically
just talks and
It couldn't have been just your arm. How's your friends? Are they dead? Love, Mom.
Bree died.
we all fell into a giant. Alright, the next note says, I pull out another piece of fucking paper.
As
Make a
you
deception
lie
check.
to your mother.
Roger's like, well, I'm running out of paper.
We fell into a giant hole and fought something that could have been really bad, but it's alright now,
Frog?
and not to worry.
Can't really make a deception check on paper, so
Why not?
because they can't read your facial expressions and movements.
Okay, but like a mom might know.
Her son is
Like, you
also an ogre,
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
so it sounds believable.
Very
Where you stick the note in and you put it away as you go back into the library with the rest. Alaric's just, you see Alaric like behind one of the bookshelves. He's like, he turns to you and he's just been screaming nerd for the past 10 minutes.
Alright, listen, when you send a text to your mom that something's bad, remember to reply to it.
I don't know what you mean, but my mother's dead. Anyway, let's get going.
Is she?
My father
I'm
died.
sorry.
I killed him.
You all manage to meet back in the center. Alaric now has a fancy little book with some glowing ink. You look
Hey,
around
Mark.
and you see Vedastus, Drysis, and Albrecht appear. But Gree, go ahead.
Hold on. Hey, Mark.
Yeah,
You know teleportation circle, right?
yeah, I do.
Did you learn the sigil for this place?
Yes.
I already know the
He
sigil.
learned it from Ponzali.
I thought you had one for the Gnome City. I guess this
No.
is not the Gnome City.
No,
Yeah,
wait,
I
it's
have it
not.
for this one.
this is the
Hmm.
Everyone City.
Right.
Frog, you never told me what I found in my
I
search.
mean, you weren't looking for anything specific, so
Okay, well, what did I find?
you find some information on growing magical beans, the
Okay.
very low probability of growing a treant that becomes friendly to you, the
Bean
probability
books.
of people who getting robbed together end up working together. But you do manage to talk to someone who will sell you spells for a slightly lower cost than normal.
Nice.
You have to tell them what spells, though.
Yeah, let me get on my sheet that I have
Greater
written
Major.
down on. I already have that. Retard.
You do? I thought you did. I thought you had to buy it. What the fuck?
No,
No, I
he said he
literally just
didn't
took
want to
it.
buy it, so he took it.
Okay. Now I've been thinking, well, scrying would be pretty useful.
I'll also put 10 gold in the box.
Okay.
And I have been sending them gold, so they know I'm alive.
You haven't said you were.
I literally have every time I've sent gold.
This
I've
was gonna
said I've
happen
sent it.
on the drive to Odivalo, but I forgot. Scrying is 5th level, right?
Mm-hmm.
What other spells?
I came back. I went to go pee. I need to go find something to eat though.
So scrying should be good.
Are you looking over spells right now?
So
well,
yeah,
I,
the
I have
list.
I have a list. I'm just looking over the list.
Frog, I have a noose. I don't know what that means.
You have a noose? What?
A new sphere.
That's a mystic thing.
I think I just picked up a rock. It's either the rock or the gibbering. bit.
Gibbering.
I don't know what
Gibbering.
you're talking about.
I don't know. I wrote down I have a new. I don't know what that means.
New spear is probably what you meant.
That is exactly what I meant.
God damn it.
But while Mark is looking over spells, Vedastus, Drysis, and Albrecht arrive. Drysis holding the Amber Mind, and he hands it back to you, Mark.
Yes.
We believe that might be useful for the current plan to keep him even further subdued and sedated. So hold on to that. Don't die. And he pushes Albrecht ahead a bit. Alaric. Jake.
Go on.
Okay. Just making sure you're there.
Go on.
He kind of pulls you aside a little bit. We have no idea what that thing is and what it's doing to him. However, he can pull things from across the room that seem to vanish and reappear. So he probably can control portals to the Shadowfell, is my assumption.
Interesting.
And it
You think you'd be
probably
able to make one big one?
maybe, but it probably also, like he said, is likely killing him quickly. But I'm not sure if there's a cure here, at the least. Maybe in the Shadowfell, but that's a very, very, very long shot. As the only thing you usually find there is shadows and people who want to kill you.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll have to make up my mind, but thank you for assisting us in any way you could. We'll go take care of your wizard, and the heart, and then hell itself, I suppose.
Vedastus and his team of magisters of our caliber are going to be looking into finding the other two Black Hands and subduing them permanently. If they're locked away
Alright.
now, they could possibly be locked away further.
He's talking about this with all of us, right?
He brings Alaric back to the group for this. If we can find a way to find where they are, find out the mechanisms that are keeping them at bay, and add more to that, they possibly might never get out again.
Alright, well, we all have our jobs. Let's get to it then. No time's wasting. And I've got to take care of, Albrecht here.
And Drysus pulls out from his sleeve and looks to you, Gree, and he unfurls it, and it's a very, very fancy contract written in golden ink with
I'm
a
not
wax
gonna
seal.
read it. I just sign it.
He goes out to start reading it, and you just sign it immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Alright.
sent you the actual second letter I sent my mom.
Okay. And he folds it back up and puts it away. That was a lot easier than I thought. Come with me, Gree. And he
Okay.
takes you by the shoulder, and you flash away. You guys wait about a minute, and they flash back, and Gree has this disgusting, worm thing in his hand.
Ew.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I put it in the bag of holding so
Be
that it's
careful
not on my
with that.
person. Yeah. Yeah. Trust me.
And he,
Do we want scrying or do we not want scrying?
Take scrying.
That'll
Yeah.
be alright.
Do you need?
he
Do you want me
hands
to send you spells?
I have a list of spells.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, do I want it right now? Oop, it's gone.
I mean,
Scrying would be
now's your
kinda
chance. Now's your
Yeah,
chance.
it's cheap.
Isn't it a ritual too? So you can just cast
No.
it whenever. Is it not?
No. No,
Uh,
but
What
it is 10 minutes long.
he hands you a smaller slip of paper that appears to be a copy of the contract that is wax sealed.
Okay. Yeah, I'll read that later.
Okay.
See what I actually agreed to, because it was probably a bad deal, but I don't care.
All right. Drysus backs away. I hope you enjoyed your quick stay. Feel free to come back and use our library whenever, or enroll for classes. And he pops away. Vedastus kind of steps up. If you're going to be talking to Eluis, I wish you a lot of luck.
Is there anything we should know about him? Anything that kind of puts him more eccentric than usual? Anything we should not do?
His tower, like I mentioned before, comes out of the ocean, and it has several rooms that are all basically small demi-planes that he created. And they
Right.
house his interesting things. And he's usually at the top.
Well, that's big.
So do we have to fight through or get through
Depends
these
on what
interesting
planes
things?
are there that day.
Right.
It's usually about 6 floors, 7 floors. One time it was 13 floors.
The wizard tower.
13 floors is kind of unlucky. I don't know why he would do that.
Well, it's also in the ocean, so it's probably a lot more than that.
You know,
Right.
I just wanted to take a country, and now I've got to save the world, and let's just get it over with.
And if you do manage to speak to him, and he has coherent thought that isn't mumbling, see if you could ask him, for your own interests, of course, how to build a tower like that, because I'm sick of him messaging me about it.
Does he just call you every once in a while and say, "Have you built the tower yet?"
Yes.
No, fuck you.
Yes, almost weekly at this point.
Well, at least it kind of sounds like he cares, honestly.
He does, but he's also bragging a bit.
Yeah, I think it's just to
Alright,
bring
well-
out the best in you.
We'll take care of it.
But like I said, I'll be busy. If you need me, feel free to contact me. Except in the middle of the night, I'll likely be sleeping.
Well,
Will do.
good luck in the whole, thing.
And you see him kind of salute and just pop out of existence.
We're gonna fucking die.
Oh, we're fucked.
All right. So what you guys do now?
Well,
I guess we go to the coast.
Yeah, I guess we'll go to the coast. But before we do it,
I got shit to buy. Okay.
uh,
So I'm gonna buy Scrying Dawn,
What level's done?
Dimension Door. It's 5, 5, 1, 3, 3.
All right. List off the spells. Scrying, Dawn, Dimension Door.
Dawn, Dimension Door, Comprehend Languages, Remove Curse, and Glyph of Warding. I think wizards can get that. Yeah.
I can hear Jake breathing heavily.
I'm not breathing heavily. What do you mean?
Glyph of Warding, Jake.
Huh?
Christopher, you should buy Contingency. It lets you cast another spell if you invest in it like a day beforehand. It lasts for 10 days.
Altogether, that will run you about 4,400 gold.
I'll just get Contingency next time. The next level,
Which
Okay.
one?
4,000
Contingency.
4,400.
4,400.
Yep.
Okay.
Contingency Frog lets him cast another 6th level spell, a 5th level spell or lower another time per day, basically.
Platinum is 10
Yep.
gold. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure.
It'll be
Here's-
440
if you want to
platinum.
read it.
God knows you have enough money.
And then how much does it cost to copy?
I'll just include your copying fee in the price, so it just takes you time.
Okay.
Or
And
whatever
it'll
it
just
is for
take
your,
me-
your chronomancy
It'll
thing.
take me half the time.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it overnight and it'll
Happen.
count.
Alright.
I have plenty
You don't
of
need to
nights
fucking sleep
do.
anymore.
Yep.
So what you guys doing now?
To the coast.
I guess I'll just take before we go to the coast, I'll take Albrecht to the side and just tell him straight up. We tried what we could. I thought that maybe they'd have an answer here, but clearly they didn't. And a
Told you.
promise is a promise. So I told you I'd kill you.
That's what I asked for.
You ready?
I'm not going out like a bitch.
You want to fight?
Of course.
I punch him
I'll
in
tell
the
you
back of
what.
the head.
I'll tell you what.
I'd like to see the
How
kids
close
again, though.
were you? How close were you to them?
2 years of basically raising them, protecting them, learning about them. I'd
Alright.
like to say bye, at least. Don't tell them that I'm dying. Just tell them that I'm going to do other good things.
He's going to the farm.
Going out to pasture.
Tell you what. We will go to this wizard's tower, and you can have your final adventure there by helping us save the world. I think that'll be a good ending for Albrecht. What do you think? And
Yeah,
afterward,
bit of a
once
nod.
the
Frog
wizard
smile.
Screams as he has to take care of another NPC.
One
And
much
as we
stronger
go-
than Rainin.
take care of the tower, after that, we'll head back to the house. You can say your goodbyes, and we'll do it there.
Bit of a nod and a smirk. Saving the world. I like it.
Alright.
To the coast.
I offer my hand to him.
He looks at it, reaches out to shake it, kind of slowly at first, and then grabs it.
Yeah, I just shake his hand, and then I stop, look back to the cart, and I say, well, let's get going, hero.
The coast is 5 minutes away. We do not
Yeah.
need to take the cart.
I want to take the cart. My feet hurt. I've been walking around bookshelves for 10 years.
walking around today, and I don't...
I've been
anymore.
screaming about bookshelves.
downstairs!
Imagine walking.
All right, so you guys make your way down to the coast. The city gets a bit more tropical almost as you get closer. It's almost like there's
Hold on.
3 cities in one.
Once we're far enough away from the place, I'm gonna attach the gibbering bit to the other gibbering bit.
You see a dimension door open and absorb Guri, and he dies instantly.
And is replaced with a
Thank
beholder
God,
who goes
he's
crazy.
Finally gone.
You attach it to the eye, and the eye that was there previously grows out into the eye stalk, and more eye stalks begin popping out the sides, and a central eye opens, and a stitched closed mouth appears in a slight grin. You can now use the beam twice per day, and you get disintegration ray. I've got to put it on there though.
Fro, can you answer my question? Thanks.
What's your question?
I sent it to you on Discord.
I don't get a Discord notice when I have exploit open for some reason.
Okay, that's what I'm just telling you. I just didn't want to interrupt you and Jake.
Can I get Death Ray?
No.
Damn.
Do you have anti-magic ray?
No.
Okay, good. I'll just use that as my focus then.
The finger?
You're gonna buy that and use it as a focus?
I already own that.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I just found a cockroach on my chair. That's fun.
Nice.
Joe, what are you doing in this chair?
I'm not a cockroach. I'm an ooze guy.
But
I'm
you
skinny
guys-
green.
No. You guys make your way down to the coast. Looking out you're on the it's like a rocky cliff coast on this part, and you look out and you see the tumultuous ocean slamming up against jutting out rocks every now and then. Seagulls flying overhead, and the water appears still. What do you guys do?
What was his name?
Eluus.
I shout out, Eluus.
It echoes across the rocks and over into the sea, and you see nothing happen.
All this magical bullshit can eat my ass.
I cast vicious mockery and say, Eluus, your mother's a hole. Answer me.
Nothing happens.
Please do not say that to the person we're trying to make nice with. I whisper into my thing, you know anything about a tower here, Grandma?
You see the ocean kind of slap the rocks a bit harder.
The ocean shrugs.
Yeah. Atlas shrugs.
Eluus. Vedastus sent us.
We weren't supposed to mention Vedastus, I don't think, because they don't like each other.
You
I
see,
don't think so.
the ocean, the waves crash up against the rocks. You see it kind of pull back a bit on the rocks, and the waves stop slamming so hard, and it kind of stills over a bit. And you see, out in the distance, it kind of bubbles and rises and sinks back and swirls into a small whirlpool. And you see the tippy top of a little tower begin poking out in the distance. Almost like a giant lightning rod as it slowly grows and grows. This black stone with long banners that trail off the sides and a large observatory at the top with a long cylindrical tube sticking out of one end. And it begins rising and rising and rising and rising about 7 stories and stops. And it gets wider at the base.
Easy as that.
And you see the ocean kind of begin pulling in and out and eventually parting into a bridge that leads out onto the beach below you.
Alright, let's get into the tower and talk to the crazy wizard.
If I never talk to another magic user after this, I will die a happy newborn.
Mark cries.
Except
I
for
don't like
you.
you calling yourself a newborn. I'm gonna be real with you.
I mean, what else am I supposed to call myself?
I
Boker.
don't know.
Boker.
You thought you were an ogre for the longest time, so I don't know. That
I
sounds
thought I was a
interesting.
human for the longest time.
Yeah, that is that to me is clear brain damage. But
Well, when you're raised, you know,
No.
How old,
you're
are you?
told something.
how old are you?
8 years old.
You know, if a drow was raised as an elf, they wouldn't think they were an elf.
Well, a drow is an elf.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I mean? Like
No.
I don't know what you mean.
a real elf.
Real.
What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say here?
What are you trying to say, Vesper?
Anyway,
We go to the tower.
you begin walking down the pathway, the ocean swelling, just licking at your feet ever so slightly. It's a long path, but you arrive at the base, and this large metal door with bronze inlay like divots and a large knocker with like a gargoyle's head holding it in its mouth.
Knockers.
All right, listen. I know you want us to go through your whole puzzle rooms or whatever, but we're kind of in a rush. Could we just come up and speak to you face to face, please?
Make
Two
a
I know it's a
rooms
lot.
are added on top of the other.
persuasion
God.
check.
All right,
Wait,
I do have.
can I also say something and give him advantage by saying that?
What do you
Go
say?
ahead.
I'm gonna say. Also, I think your tower is really cool, and I'd like to learn how to make one.
Alright, make a persuasion check with advantage.
I wink. I cannot roll lower than a 15. 19.
Okay. The ocean swells behind you a bit. You hear nothing but crashing waves for a moment. And then the two gargoyle, like things holding the knockers, like turn their necks and look at each other and just start laughing.
Knockers.
And the doors part and open.
Well, I mean, at least.
Guess we're
And-
doing this the hard way.
And that's what we call tonight's game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I have a few stat blocks I need to make. I thought you guys would do something else first.
What did you think we were gonna do first?
I thought you were going to kill Albrecht already. But anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Natural One. We'll see you next week. Sponsored by the boys on Amazon or whatever we decide is not funny next week. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed that YouTube ad that popped up midway through, and the 10-minute shit talk. But bye bye.